stains, bathtub, bathroom tiles, shower doors, sinks, and toilet bowl stains. Limeaway can eliminate them all. Get your bottle of Limeaway at your nearest mom and pop store and never be embarrassed by those ugly stains again. Limeaway, distributed by Cosmos Distributing.
President Biden says beating his predecessor in an election rematch is part of his reason for seeking re-election.
President Biden joked that probably 50 other Democrats could beat former President Trump next year, but quickly added,
I'm not the only one to beat him, but I will defeat him.
The president told donors at a fundraiser yesterday if Trump wasn't running, he's not sure he'd be running, but said Democrats cannot let the former president win. Later in the evening, President Biden clarified he would not drop out, even if his predecessor left the race.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. 4 Republicans running for president will share the stage again tonight, this time in Alabama, a 4th debate that Trump is skipping. For the first time, pro-Trump electors admit he lost, agreeing to revoke false filings as part of a settlement in one state.
They posed as fake electors for former President Trump in Wisconsin and filed paperwork saying he'd won the battleground state. Now those 10 Republicans have settled a civil lawsuit admitting their actions were part of an effort to overturn President Biden's win. They're acknowledging his presidential victory, agreeing to withdraw their inaccurate filings, and to not serve as presidential electors next year or in any election where Trump is on the ballot. This is the first time any pro-Trump electors have revoked false filings sent to Congress, purporting that the former president won in 7 battleground states. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
His TV shows changed American comedy.
His website says writer, producer, developer Norman Lear passed away on Tuesday of natural causes. Lear's early 70s sitcoms dominated the ratings and became part of the fabric of American TV. All in the Family, Sanford and Son, The Jeffersons, Maude, One Day at a Time, and Good Times, among others.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Norman Lear was 101. An hour to the close, stocks turn lower. The Dow's down a point. Elisa Brady, Fox News.
Attention business owners, upgrade your connectivity with Docomo Pacific's new business mobile plans. Whether you're upgrading your phone or bringing your own device, you can save big. Up to $20 a month. Enjoy unlimited talk and text locally and to the U.S. plus data roaming to the U.S., Japan, Korea, and the Philippines. Experience the power of seamless communication. Visit business.docomopacific.com today for more details. Some conditions apply.
Hofady, this is Kayla from APL Guam. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated team in Guam and the U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
Quality care, peace of mind. That is the FHP Imaging Center. Our specialized board-certified radiologist ensures patient-focused care with diagnostic medical imaging, including MRI, CT scan, digital mammogram, digital x-ray, and ultrasound. The FHP Imaging Center is open for most services Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 671-646-5825. Press 1 for an appointment. Now accepting of Guam. FHP Health Center. Our island, your clinic.
Today and Good Morning Guam at 6:06 on Thursday, December 7. I'm Donna De Jesus with a look at your local news on The Point. GPD Officer Brian Awa is under investigation in connection to a major federal drug case. Since December 2019, Homeland Security investigations had been looking into Awa, who had been on extended leave without pay from GPD since 2017 and continues to remain on leave. Unsealed federal court documents state that Awa had distributed meth to several individuals to sell, which included felons convicted of dealing drugs. The search warrant stated that a drug detector dog alerted authorities to the presence of narcotics in a USPS priority mail package addressed to Awa's Dedido residence. GPD states that after learning of the criminal investigation, an internal affairs investigation was launched. The police department strongly encourages anyone with information regarding any officer involved in misconduct or criminal activities, such as drug trafficking, to come forward and file a complaint. Meanwhile, an attorney at the AG's office is claiming that she was harassed and retaliated against after her supervisor refused to pay her for sick leave that she took. Assistant AG Donna Lawrence filed for sick leave in July. That leave was donated to her by another employee under the government's leave sharing plan, and Chief Deputy AG Joe Guthrie signed off on the leave application. But Lawrence was still waiting for her sick leave payment nearly 4 months later. She's accusing Deputy AG Frank Gumatauto of interfering with the processing of her leave payment. He had threatened to fire her after she filed a grievance with the CSC. Repeated attempts to resolve the issue within the office were unsuccessful. We'll have more news after this.
Christmas trees are going up at the Security Title Office in Tamuning, and with them comes the music and joy of the season. As we reflect on the ups and downs of 2023, one thing remains constant, and that is the deep gratitude we have for our customers and the meaningful work we do for our real estate community. Thank you for trusting us with your property. From our Security Title family to yours, we wish you a Christmas season filled with peace and joy.
A contract for up to $700 million worth of construction and repair work at Andersen Air Force Base was recently awarded. The contract comes as construction for the military buildup becomes more intense and as billions worth of repair work will be needed for military bases on Guam after Typhoon Mawar. The award is split between 10 different companies, 9 of them based out of Guam. The $700 million mark is not a guaranteed payout, but the ceiling on the project, and awardees will each be doing jobs for the Air Force on an as-needed basis until November of 2028, with the option to extend for 2 years. And the USPS has ramped up its staffing by 15% to prepare for the holidays. Customer traffic is expected to pick up at post offices as soon as today, with the busiest week 2 weeks before Christmas. Customers are advised to ship items as early as possible. To avoid lines, customers are encouraged to use Click and Ship on USPS.com to pay for postage and print labels before bringing the parcel to the Click and Ship counter at the post office. Package pickup operations will have extended hours at all locations, and the Barragata Post Office is adding Sunday pickup hours from 10 to 2. Details on the USPS extended holiday pickup hours, as well as guides on how to pack and ship boxes, can be found on KUAM.com. And those are your top stories right here on The Point. Now here's Ray with your weather.
Yes, to my family and friends off island, please don't send me anything. Don't send me anything. If you send it to me, send it to the office address. Don't send it to a post office or a general delivery, anything like. I don't want to.
Just send them yellow cards in the mail.
It'll get returned. It'll get returned. They'll say it didn't get picked up. It'll just get returned to you.
That would be rude to send yellow cards to someone in the mail, and they get in line.
Okay, yeah, all right. So Christmas hack. What you want to do is you want to go to the store and get these gift cards from like Home Depot. You know, they've got that one little turnstile with the gift cards.
Some of the best gifts.
Grab a handful of those and just start handing them out to people.
Empty?
Of course. Of course. You know, it's the thought that counts, Joe. It's the thought.
Then they can get in line at customer service to find out.
I'm sorry, there's something wrong with this card. It doesn't seem to have anything in it. Mostly sunny with highs near 88 degrees. There's east winds 9 to 11 miles an hour. You're totally going to do that, aren't you? Partly cloudy tonight with lows around 78 degrees. East wind 6 to 9 miles an hour tonight. Same story tomorrow. Friday, mostly sunny for the procession with highs near 88 degrees. East winds 8 to 11 miles an hour tomorrow night. Partly cloudy skies and overnight lows should be about 78 degrees. Winds east up to about 9 miles an hour. Saturday, another mostly sunny day with highs expected to be around 88 degrees. So still fairly cool. Heat index only going to make it feel like 90. See, these are awesome times to be outside getting workouts. In fact, the other reason why you want to do this is because the sun is going down so early. 5:53 for sunset tonight. And you want early morning workouts, so you can do it a little bit longer because the sun didn't come out until 6:31 or so this morning. It is only 6:11 in the morning. That's news and weather together, brought to you by Bank Pacific, banking on the Pacific for 69 years.
Need a new look for the holidays? Or just want to pamper yourself? Studio 211 offers a variety of services to make you look good and feel great this holiday season. Studio 211 is having a 20% off special on full highlight services Tuesday and Wednesday only. For more info, call 671-637-4536 or 4537 to book your appointment, or visit us at the Micronesia Mall next to the theaters. Studio 211, serving the people of Guam for 43 years.
Santa's coming and things are looking up. Bank Pacific has rolled out Rudolph's favorite My Christmas loan with the annual percentage rate as low as 7.49% and up to $50,000. And with our Bank Pacific contactless Visa debit card, you have the flexibility of using your money when you want, where you want. My Christmas loan, contactless Visa debit card. Let's make Christmas season merrier in 23. Equal opportunity lender. Credit conditions apply. Merry Christmas from Bank Pacific.
Well, Merry Christmas back at you. Thanks for taking care of my money. 6:12 in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show. Portions brought to you by APL. American President Lines is delivering the future.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now. 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
I'm looking it up on the internet, so we're going to find out if it's true or not. A buddy of mine online here is he's doing like a Christmas movie challenge all the way through December. Wants to watch a different Christmas movie, just one Christmas movie per day, and he was asking for suggestions. My initial suggestion was Die Hard.
Hold on, man.
What?
Is that a Christmas movie?
Yeah. Takes place at Christmas time in Nakatomi Towers.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. There's somebody set up an event
on a company party.
Somebody set up an event for it, like on Facebook, an invitation to go to the Christmas party at the Nakatomi Towers in Los Angeles. I don't know, but I was up, trying to figure out whether I wanted to offer any suggestions or not. And I figured it all of a sudden occurred to me that, just thinking about this now, I don't know that I know about all of the Christmas movies that are out there. So I went to the online repository that is Google to ask for best Christmas movies of all time. Here's what it's spitting out. It doesn't look like it's in a particular order, but they've got Elf in it.
Yeah, that's a great one too, man.
Well, I don't know. It might be
not a classic.
What's the name of the guy that's in it? The actor in Elf? Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
Maybe the most annoying version
Ricky
of
Bobby.
Will Ferrell there is. I don't know. Yeah, in Elf. I don't know. It just there's like every other scene is something in there that's a little bit more over the top than it needs to be, and it just kind of annoying in that kind of vein. Obviously, It's a Wonderful Life in there. Home Alone. With Macaulay Culkin is apparently a Christmas movie. Nightmare Before Christmas, if you want to go kind of a darker route there. There's Bad Santa, speaking of dark routes. We'll go back to the 1950s for White Christmas. I got to look this one up. Love Actually.
Sounds racist.
What's that?
White Christmas. That sounds racist.
Right,
man.
Miracle on 34th Street. And A Christmas Story with the boy that's going to shoot out his eye.
The favorite.
Always
you remember
a perennial.
the lamp with the leg?
Yes. Yes.
The father was my character.
It's the game in a box mark. Fragile. It must be from Italy. I'm with you. Okay, so Love Actually. It's one of those deals where they're just going to be playing different stories and things like that. Okay, I remember that. Anyway, so you might want to start looking. I'm not suggesting that you do it, but if you're like bored out of your mind and you've already done all of your Christmas shopping, then perhaps a good idea would be to just sit around and waste time and watch Christmas movies together. And sometimes, there's people. I believe in the Christmas Scrooged. Got to watch Scrooge.
I knew it. That's your favorite, right?
The
Bill Murray version?
Bill Murray version of Scrooge.
Yes.
All of the other ones are just Hollywood tripe, but that one with Bill Murray, I think that one really kind of gets you into the spirit. And I think that's for a lot of people that might be the way it works. What is it that gets you in the spirit and the mood for Christmas? For Donna, there's no such thing. But for you, real Joe, what is it that brings you the feeling of Christmas?
It's that old school Rudolph claymation.
Oh, yeah, all of those.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I love that one.
I can
man.
see that, and thankfully
It
they
brings
haven't
me
screwed
there.
that up by trying to, bring
Make it
that
all
into
woke.
the 2000s and woke the thing up.
Please don't.
No, don't mess with our childhood memories. And if you. Now, if you do, make it rated R or something like that, so we don't have to worry about it polluting the minds of all of the kids that are out there these days. But but are there other things that like the procession, if you will, the Feast of the Immaculate Conception? Isn't that one of those ramp ways, kind of the benchmarks, milestones of your childhood, where you knew it was going to be Christmas before too much longer?
I just know that I'm not going to get an F if I show up.
The sister will not
there
mark
were
you
threats,
down.
Ray.
Yeah.
I remember.
It'll stay in your permanent record. I'm wondering. I'm
didn't
thinking
show
about
up.
now. The late sister Callista. She always talked about my permanent record, and here I am, 61 years old. I'm wondering if it's there.
Yeah.
If I ever got in trouble with the law or something like that, would I be like in district court with
don't
Judge
bring it
Francis
up, man.
Tydenko Gatewood, and
Yeah.
she'd come out with a big folder? You know what this is?
Exhibit A.
This is your permanent record, Mr. Gibson, and it indicates that in 1969 you did not attend your Feast of the Immaculate
That speaks
Conception.
to character.
It speaks to character. Straight to jail. You lied to the teacher and said you were there, but they didn't have you on the roll
And
call.
you live right down there, Ray. They saw you looking out the window.
Anyway, 6:18 in the morning, 888-825-5880-TALK is the telephone number. If you've got something that always brings you back to Christmas, gets you into that feeling. For me, one of the other things was obviously the smell of Christmas trees will do it. Running around with your Santa hat is always kind of a big deal. If you've got one of those like Santa Claus elf hats or something, wearing that. Go to the mall. Go to the Micronesia Mall. They get that little train and the big Christmas trees.
Window
And the
shopping.
big Christmas trees in the hotels. Yeah, window shopping because, Joe Biden's the president. I can't really afford anything. Can I have that on credit? Come on, I'll pay you in January. What do you say? when I think I might have a little bit more money. But anyway, so we'll talk about that maybe and a few of the other things. But if you've got some triggers, by all means, put them down in the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. Love to share that with the rest of the audience. And somebody said, yesterday, that thing I was talking about happiness being fleeting and how it's important to make a connection. I thought that was a really, really good point about how it's a social connection that you need to be able to maintain one way or the other. And for some people, it's difficult. They don't get along with anybody over at work or their families off island or something like that. And so try to maintain some kind of a social connection. For which I'm pleased that this program here online, Facebook Live and YouTube Live, etc., for some people is a social connection. They get to talk to each other and see each other on a regular basis. We all have the radio show and the radio station in common with us, so that helps break down a few barriers. But there were a couple of other points about it doesn't even need to be as formal, if you will, as hanging out on the same chat group. Focus on real-time communication, not a text or posting on somebody's social media feed. As primates, we're evolved for live conversations, which can be virtual. You can have them virtually as long as they're, with another human being. As I said, communicate with each other, find out what it is that Sarita is bringing back from the Philippines when she returns. Even conversations with strangers out there, fleeting encounters, smiling at somebody can boost your mood. Just the act of you looking at them, eye contact, and smile at them, even if you got ugly teeth. That will go a long way to enhance your mood. And other parts of this is happiness doesn't mean dispelling all negative emotion. That's what makes us human. In the tough times we're dealing with, negative emotions are normal. We need to pay attention to them because they're signaling changes that we need to make. Happiness really is about a decent ratio of positive to negative emotions. And I'll leave you with one last one. Every day, especially this time of year, you should have something that's worth taking a selfie for. Every event, you're going to go through, there's got countless opportunities today to find yourself someplace, to find yourself with some people and just go, whoa, wait, hold on, selfie, and then do the thing. And even if you don't post it, even if it's just something that is in your camera. It's for you. It's for you. It's the gift that, and one other thing, and I will do this, was talking to somebody and she was talking about how in 2023, somebody was a real jerk. And she says, what should I do? I said, forgive him.
Oh, man. I thought you would say hitman.
No.
Oh.
No, it depends
You're
on,
too kind
depends
during
on
the
how he takes
holidays,
it.
Ray.
Just depends on how he takes it. Just you forgive him. And she said, why? I said, when you get older, you'll understand that forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. So maybe if there's somebody out there like me that's pissed you off sometime in 2023, find a way to forgive them.
We
maybe,
forgive you, Ray.
Maybe go out and buy a gift. If you're tired of me wearing the same red shirts every week, then by all means, feel free to go buy me some more. I am, my ego is going crazy because I've got a COVID pot belly. So not double XL, but XL. Unless it's made in Japan, then definitely double XL. Anyway, as I said, Real Joe gets the phone when you call 888-825-5888-TALK. Donna D has got big news and headlines for us all morning long that will take us into another weekend that we got covered. For some reason, the theme for today's program is supposed to be a sort of a Friday for some, but I dropped one of the F's in there, so you're going to have to fill that in your head. There are a number of people for whom you will not be here with us tomorrow because you don't have to go to work. You've got other things that you can see to. For some reason, it's a day off for the students in the public school system, even though there's no Jesus and Mother Mary in the private schools.
Yeah, when did that start?
I don't know. I just got the thing yesterday.
Yeah, there used to be a perk of going to Catholic school,
Right?
man.
Yeah,
the other
I
kids
remember
couldn't
that.
do it.
Like, we're off, you're not.
Yeah. You got the day off until procession. You get to watch all your friends walk to the bus stop.
Ew, gross. And you have to wear full dress uniform? That's
There was that. I mean, it's not that long. They put out they put the thing out, and for the route, and for those of you that run 5Ks in the downtown Augusta area, if you run the Southern Mountain Gear 5K, it's basically the same thing in reverse, but you don't have to go all the way up to 9th Street. You can cut over at 5th Street. So it's not like a pure 5K, and it's not recommended that you actually run the procession. It's not a race. It's not a parade. It's just, it's a procession. So we'll see if we can get more details for you on that before too much longer. In the meantime, it's 6:24 in the morning, and let's say good morning to all of these people going to be enjoying a day.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. You want to go where people know people are all the same.
That's how to sing.
You want to go where everybody knows your name.
Massive Fact Jack, 888-255-888-TALK. Who gets to be a number one today? Oh, it looks like it's big man, Jerome McDonald again.
Oh, wow, J-Mac.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Morning,
first time
guy.
out from the States. He does it from the States, guys. Jeff Pleadwell, Henry Manglonia, Buenos Dan Avade, Ken August, and Steve Blake, real human being.
Real guy.
Yeah. He sent me a thing on the meme yesterday, and I forgot what it was, like a knife, because I was showing off my my knife that I got from Frank the Crank
everyone's
Camacho.
showing their knives because you got yours.
Yeah, and he showed me his mine's from Home Depot. You can change the blade. You don't have to worry about sharpening it. You just change the blade. They come in a little box of 10.
That looked like a carpet cutter. Ray.
Like that, exactly. Bring down
Sorry,
airplane.
Blake.
You can bring down a whole airplane with this. Did you know that? It's true. Let me see. Henry Manglonia, Tony, and Annette Unpinko, and Real Joe, I don't think we've seen the last of Tony and
Wow.
it's still funny to me. I'm
He
just going
wakes
to keep
up
doing
early
that.
just for us.
When they travel.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they check in just for that. Let me see. Juanita Machi is there. Kevin Kinatteds and Rico Blancaflor. There's the big man. Jennifer Poe-Schnitger is there. Andrew Terlai. Those were the good days. The Jeffersons. Oh, yeah. Report this morning about the passing of a great comedic and television genius, Norman Lear. He gave us All in the Family and a television show that you could not make in 2020. You could not do it now. The woke armies. Even though you're on the same side, guys, even though what the whole point of All in the Family was to show kind of how backwards and rigid Archie Bunker was, just the way that he would say things and the way that he would be interacting with people to underscore just the nature of that rigidity and the intolerance would still be sufficient to trigger the protests. And they'd come at you and they'd scrawl a Nazi symbol on your house and all of that. Couldn't do it in 2023, and that's too bad. Alicia Duenas Anderson online here. And that means that soon we'll get some first beach pictures. Christine Oliver, sorry, that's the Christine Oliver is online. Hava Jane Nauta Brad Wood.
Morning, Wood.
Is today the Lucia return date? Did that happen?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to he posted like a little countdown thing on social media, and I was already kind of tired and I didn't want to do the math, so I just said I'll just wait until tomorrow morning. We'll see if she's online as well. Knock on wood. No power outage this morning at Being Day to do. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that. Lynn Vince, Borja Polino, Ron Castro, our favorite guy artist there, Benita Camacho Garrido, and Lonnie Salas. Hey, holiday tomorrow? For some it is. Vince Delgado, Bunker Meno, Francis Duffy, and the original Burger King, Rudy Rudolfo, is online. Chicken Fries Fridays, that's all you need to know right now. Charles Craw. Buenas and Hafa Day to F. Ramos and Gina Marie Tenorio. Call. We were thinking about robos yesterday. My brother, we had dinner last night, and
nice.
My brother was
happy birthday, Dave.
Yeah, it was originally going to be over at CPK, but nobody checked, and I guess CPK is closed. They were closed last night. And I don't know why. It's maybe company party for everybody, but the place was closed. Fortunately, there's another restaurant down the hall, and so we went to Vitali's, and I had the what is it called, the lasagna with the meatballs. So I had that, and it took me back as I was eating it, reminding me of maybe one of the best lasagnas that I ever had, and it used to be at a place called Robo's in Agagna. It's above Andrews Lock and Safe.
Okay.
It was King Bee's until this week, and now it's Hares and Hounds. Is the name of the place now, and I don't know, it's just fantastic memories that were coming back at me. And then we were trying to remember all the different restaurants that it was. There was a Q's in there for a while. There was a Kinney's downtown was in there for a while as well. Great times, buddy. Jason at Military Auto Sources there. Daryl Taggarty, Andy Terlahi, Bandit, Buenas and Half a Day to Nate Horn. Up and at him, says Daryl. Rico B. Simon Sanchez watching the program. Good morning
Uncle
to
Si.
Margaret Estacchio. Maybe Simon can tell us all about Guam 100. Did you see that?
What is that about?
There's a press release that came out. They're touting 100% renewable energy.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. I'd settle for about 75% reliable electricity. I'm just messing with you, Si. Gwen Rowe is online. Stephen Madrano says Malagayan Pascal Point family, which comes right after the Malagayan Thanksgiving Mo. For those of you spend a lot of time watching Filipino rom-coms. I pick up a little bit here and there. And Happy Halloween Mo is another one that they have. Margaret Estacchio, Tina Garcia, Havadeta Patrick Buck. Good point. Says Gremlins is the best Christmas movie. If for no other reason that it has Phoebe Cates in it. Is it no? Yeah, Phoebe Cates is in that. That's probably. I'll bet you that's why. What's his name likes it as well. Let me see. Macy's gift card. The only thing in my shopping cart every holiday season. Rico says Ross for me. Who else is playing around online? I got that Tattoo Shauna. Tattoo Shauna. I got a friend that was asking about you yesterday, and I told her all kinds of nice things. So when she comes by, you have to give her everything that I told her you're going to get. Great prices, great service, and super fun person,
and no pain,
and kind of. She got Batsuku eyes just like you. And I was thinking in my head how awesome it would be to be at Tattoo Social when you had two of those kind of Batsuko eyes beauties in the same place. Roy Burgess is online. Mike Grace Blas. Let me see. Dennis Larson hanging out. Ruel the Rooster Drilon. Daryl Taggarty talking about Polar Express, which is an interesting movie. Tom Hanks animated film came out back in the day, and they had to take it's an interesting story, albeit short. It comes from a very small children's book, and it was surprising to everybody how they were able to turn it into as long a feature as they did. Jose Martinez is online. Donna D says meanies. Who says I'm picking on Donna D? Someone said. Lena McDaniel is there.
Just
Jose,
forgive him, Donna.
Spirited is a Christmas movie. Came out last year on Apple Originals. Josephine Bloss is online. Alan Balbinson, nice color, Ray. Buenos morning, Dr. D, RJ, JR, all of the other people that work here. Rich and Friend. No, it's DDJ, JR, and RJ. All right, that includes, all right, JR is Jerry Roberts, RJ Real Joe. Okay, I get the code. Rich Fran Tenorio, Kitsu, Sandra Regis in Alaska, where every day is Christmas. Ray McGravy in North Dakota, likewise, every day is Christmas. Let me see. Marie Babauta Balbin is there. Dan Russell, Harvey Egna, and Dave Duenas. Brad Wood said lights out. What happened already? Oh, my God. Jason Military Auto Source reporting power out. There was did we just get a glitch?
I didn't
a few minutes
anything.
ago.
I didn't feel a thing, man.
Tattoo Shauna says the power is out there.
Oh, how come Simon just left the chat?
Trina San Augustine, Jimenez Hessa is there. Keith Dixon watching. So is Michelle Conception. Andy Terlai saying power is back. So maybe it was just a small thing. Eunice Mendiola, happy. Let me say Ismael Velez. I almost said happy 82nd anniversary Pearl Harbor. Oops. Today is December 7th, a day which will live in infamy. As then President Roosevelt said, for Guam, it was the next day, or on the calendar the next day. So for us, the invasion day was December the 8th. Same time, within hours of each other, but it all took place on either side of the date line, and that's the difference. Harvey Egg, I prefer Phoebe in other movies. I think I know. Glenn Hunter is there. Yep. Gina says, thanks for remembering my dad and his restaurant. Tammy, Post Office Online. Love you, Tammy. Thanks for the expanded schedule and bringing in more people. The question is, where'd you hire more people? You know how many businesses on Guam are sitting around going, what is that? How do they get more people in here? I can't get guys to show up for interviews, much less get them hired and then trained. Oh, I know what the difference is. Post office, federal job. Post office is a federal job. All the stamps you can lick, ladies and gentlemen, are available waiting for you on your first day at work at the post office. Let me see, what else we got? Kitsu in Japan on the YouTube side saying 143 yen in exchange for the dollar. And I don't know if this is pretty chilly at this time of year, but he's got 47 degrees out in Yokosuka. Let me see. Brandon Fausto is there. Rico Blancaflor. Sean Gumatautau online this morning saying, Buenos and good morning to the team all the way from Telefo, Guam. Lupang Guam says, Guam 100 will set a clear plan to achieving 50% electricity purchased from renewable energy by 2030 and 100% by 2040, according to a news release from GWA, modeled after the Los Angeles 100 and Puerto Rico 100. This effort will evaluate pathways to 100% renewable energy. Ron, I've got a couple of comments here. I'll get around to those. MP Ogo, as the security guy for the show. Lupang Guam online. Kitsu in Japan already retracting his comments. Walter Gray is there. Power came back a minute after the comment posted, the power of the point. Yeah, we're that good. Let me see. Bad Boy 671 is online and looking for Tigo Biddies, but aren't we all? It's 6:35. What's that?
I said Tysnitz.
I know. So anyway, a bunch of stuff on the table of contents, as I will fondly say from time to time, looking to see if there's anything in my mind that has got any kind of incredible top of mind value as I make it. Because I do that, I'll be sitting around, getting ready for work in the morning and taking care of my morning constitutional, figuring out which way I'm going to part my hair, and wondering, okay, what's the big deal going to be? And one of the big deals is, it turns out, late in the program yesterday. And this actually got some phone call action, was a lady online on the Facebook side complaining about the median strips that we have on Guam. And she said they're all dark. They need to get in the very least pressure washed. And I don't, I'm going to assume that that's, a responsibility of somebody over at Highways. But the idea that there are these medians that are almost invisible at night. And I started...
we're not alone. I thought it was just me.
No. Like I said, later in the show, after you left yesterday. And so, like I said, I was down in Tumon checking out my brother over at the restaurant. And on the way back, it occurred to me, I wanted to make that turn to go up Happy Landing Road to see if the ICE guys were still in front of the radio station. And one of the things that I saw, right across the police Koban, in fact, right across the police precinct in Tumon, there is a median there. And it's on screen right now. And there's just different shades of black and gray. You cannot make, if it was ever painted yellow, I don't know when that was. I don't know. That might have been Camacho
Ancient
administration.
Chamorros painted that yellow.
Going back to the first, when Carl T.C. Gutierrez was, and they built Happy Land, Happy. What's the name of that joyful island? What is it? I can't remember anymore. But that whole area there, and it's even got. You can even make out, if you look carefully, you can even make out where it should be red. Because it's got those.
Is that what that is?
There's paver stones
I
in there.
thought that was dirt.
There's supposed to be paver stones in there. So you've got the paver stones. And I've got this on flash. So if there was any yellow at all, it would have come out somehow, right? So it didn't. We go from asphalt to gray concrete to grayer paver stones, and then back to the gray the gray deal.
And there's no more those reflector.
What reflector?
The reflector
There's no
turtle
reflectors
shows,
in this picture.
There's
whatsoever.
a dimple right there where one used to be.
What's that?
There's a dimple.
Oh, yeah.
Right there where one used to be.
I think you're right. I think once upon a time, according to ancient legend, they've got at the museum. They've got some exhibits that show how in the old days, in the ancient days, we used to have these reflective markers that were on the road, and somehow or another, we had the technology. I don't know what they knew in the days.
Aliens probably. Huh?
I want to make a thing about pre-contact, post-contact, or pre-civilization. What sacred knowledge did they have back in those days, where they could take these reflective markers and put them on the asphalt, and they would stay there until the road was destroyed? Because whatever glue they were using then is far superior to whatever it is that we are using now. They put some new ones down. I want to say over by coming out of Raymond Sanchez up in MTM, and those are beginning to come out now. I mean, just what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to tap on those things in and screw them into until we hit the concrete, until we hit the gravestone or whatever it is down at the bottom, limestone? I don't know. Just asking. So keep an eye out for that kind of thing, because it is one of those deals that we really ought to make a big deal about. We're going to bitch and moan about the power, because we're paying for it and it's not 100%. We're going to complain about the Agana swimming pool, because you would think that we would, after having run a swimming pool and after having so many hotels and other facilities on Guam that run swimming pools successfully, you'd think the government might be able to do that. But now there is another thing that we ought to count as something basic. A basic thing in the government of Guam is that we would have roads that are safe, for the most part reliable, and have got safety features that are maintained, like just going out there and putting a fresh coat of yellow paint on the side of the medians and putting down some stripes that people can see when it rains. Are we asking too much of the government of Guam? Are we asking too much of the leadership of Guam? The answer is yes. We are apparently asking too much. In 20 minutes, it'll be 7 o'clock in the morning. Got to get things started. Donna D with the big look at news and headlines, and maybe some more that we can complain about. How about Donna? What's going on?
GPA is expecting no load shedding for the holidays. General Manager John Beneventi says he expects power to remain stable through Christmas into the new year. GPA's Oversight Chair, Senator Will Parkinson, says he hopes to get answers to the ongoing issues from GPA. A town hall is set for this afternoon at 5:30 at the Senior Citizen Center in Moleso. And UOG is hosting a free philosophy day camp for middle schoolers ages 8 to 13 from December 18 through the 22nd. A camp for high schoolers will be from December 26th through the 30th. There are 30 openings for each session. Registration closes tomorrow. The QR code for information and registration can be found on KUAM's website, KUAM.com. And the Santa Maria and Cumberland procession returns this year and will take place tomorrow, starting at the Cathedral Basilica in Hagåtña. The years-long tradition took a 3-year pause due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The rosary starts at 3:30, and the procession starts at 4 o'clock with a mass following the procession at 6 o'clock. And those are your local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
I got you. We were talking about Robbo's and the great lasagna that they used to have. That's where I learned to really, really love lasagna. My buddy Dave, who runs a restaurant or two on Guam, chimed in and reminded me about one of the best Italian restaurants ever, which was called Latino's. Latinos.
Oh, I remember the family, yeah.
Yeah.
Family owned, dude.
Family owned, and I remember Bernie was the guy that ran the place. Beautiful wife, mother-in-law, who would come out of the kitchen every once in a while. They'd start working on an Italian sauce on Monday, and that's what you would have on your lasagna and your spaghetti and whatever on Friday. I mean, the stuff it just immersed all kinds of flavors, all married with each other. And they had this salad. And just a little tiny bowl of salad, it's got the Italian, oh my God, the tomatoes, iceberg lettuce, maybe one or two shards, just a shred or two of onions in there. And then they drowned it in this Italian vinaigrette. And I can feel the sides of my mouth tingling thinking about it right now. And you could literally go in there, a couple of beers and a couple of entrees, $20. You and a friend, you and a date eating. And as a result of that, I was there all the time. It was a fantastic place. You start thinking about restaurants that you'd like to bring back, and we'll put that in the top 5. 6:42 on the Ray Gibson Show. More like that on the way.
Boss, I got run over by a forklift.
Boss, I crashed a company truck.
What do we do? Our warehouse and inventory are gone.
Hi, this is Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and it's time for Risk 101. Everything you just heard are examples of risk your businesses can face. Our job is to ask the hard what-if questions and teach you how to reduce your exposures and help you recover if things go sideways. We've got decades of experience in Micronesia working with businesses big and small. Call AB Risk Solutions today at 777-2668 for a free inspection and quote.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
We know you've been waiting for this one.
4 years ago, I was basically unemployed. A wanderer with no home. But now, I'm a husband and a father, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Tune in every day for a chance to win free movie passes to see Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom on Thursday, December 21st, 7 p.m. at Regal Cinemas.
I'm gonna kill Aquaman and destroy everything he holds dear.
Brought to you by these amazing sponsors: BBG Automotive, UOG Endowment Foundation, Domino's Pizza, The Dugout, and the stations of choice broadcasting, The Point, Boss 104, and Star 101, with special thanks to Wendy's.
There's nothing traffic. I'm looking at the thing right now. I just refreshed it and put it online, and hardly anything. Anderson Air Force Base running sweet southbound Marine Corps Drive all the way until you get to the Micronesia Mall intersection. Just minor intersection traffic through that area. Maybe a tiny bit of traffic up around Ukadu. If you're at Route 16, thinking about 8, 10, and 16, that's the route that you want to take to get to Central. Once you're there, you make a decision on whether you want to go Route 10 or if you want to take Route 8 into town. Route 8's looking pretty good right now. Tiny bit of intersection traffic over at the McMobile, but that's because they serve McMuffins down there. What can I say? Not so much happening on Route 4 on the way into town. 4 and 10 running clear for the most part. Don't see anything backing up in Sinahanya and the Ordot area. Downtown again, you're looking pretty good right now. From there all the way down to Adelup is sweet, and from Adelup down to Big Navy and Sumai should be a fairly straight shot, but still fairly early, 6:45 in the morning. It'll probably start ganging up on you here in about a half hour or so. So if you can split a little bit early, that would be a good thing. 6:45, Ray Gibson Show continues.
Chances are you've got some questions right now. Well, here's a couple of answers. Lysol disinfectant sprays and Lysol disinfecting wipes together can be used on over 100 surfaces and kills 99.9% of viruses and bacteria. It even kills the COVID-19 virus. These are simple facts backed up by science. Lysol is suitable to protect your kids and pets. USA's #1, now protecting your homes. Lysol, what it takes to protect. Shop today at your Guam Kmart store.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
I got you. 6:46 in the morning. That's the time. And what's the date here? It is the 7th of December, and that means the shopping days 18 days till Christmas. What do? If you got four-legged furry friend like a dog around, I want you to go to bougiebooney.com of the World Wide Web, the bougiebooney.com, and line up with Katie and see if she can make your dog look at least as good as this one here. Come on, look at this girl.
Aww.
Or boy. I don't know. I can't really tell, and I don't want to zoom in just specifically on that part. But this is a picture up on the screen of just one of the different ways that she's been able to take a dog of a different variety and turn them into just one of the most handsome boys and fellas out there. Got dogs with long hair. She can take care of that. Dogs with short hair. She can take care of that. Foo-foo dogs like this kind of, what is that, Real Joe? Some kind of a poodle, right?
It's a Labra.
Snicker or whatever.
A Labra poodle.
Something poodle.
Poodle Labra.
Oodle poodle. I don't know. It's a goondoggle boogle. This one here with a beard. I actually know a guy who looks like this. And I tell you what, what we ought to do is get my buddy together with this dog and then take our Christmas pictures that way. She takes pictures of all the dogs when she's done with them and turns them into this little kind of a Christmas wonderland scene. Katie can be found over at thebougiebooney.com of the World Wide Web. 647.
Bringing you closer to the action. Any speaker, anytime. Watch and listen live on ThePOINT.gu.
Some of these dogs, they look like they're asking you a question. The question is always, when are we eating? 6:48 in the morning, fine. I sat still for the lady and got a shower, and they trimmed my head and all of that. When do we get to go eat? Take me outside. I got to poop. Sorry, it's in my head. That means it gets on the radio. 888-825-5888-TALK. I might put a couple of other images that I've got online here just so that you get an idea of what is in my head right now. So I'm having a good time, just kind of styling, cruising through my Wednesday. And I get a blurb here from the guys over at the PDN, and it was one of those things about, hold on, so what was it they were saying? Forecasters tracking tropical disturbance in the FSM. Oh, come on, give me a break with his weather nonsense. I'm so over Mauar, and I don't need to worry about anything else. Which one of the boys do we have?
Torque.
Oh, built for torque. Okay,
Yeah.
that would be Landon. Landon Idlet, built for torque. Brandon, of course, built for speed. Landon's online with me right now. So on screen, I've got this. This came out in your presser yesterday, kind of the weekly update of what's going on. And even though it doesn't show up on the Joint Typhoon Warning Center's warning map, you guys are taking an early look at what exactly is the nature of this disturbance, Landon.
Yeah, that's correct. And so the Joint Typhoon Warning Center webpage, the public-facing page, that just shows those in-best areas of tropical disturbances that are rated low, medium, or high for development. This 90W that we're looking at, that is rated a sub-low. So it's something that's in a very early, disorganized state of existence. There's really not much to look at other than on the satellite, just showers and thunderstorms across the heart of the FSM. Right now, that's Chuuk State, Pohnpei State, and southern Kosrae State. And so the impacts of those are showers, thunderstorms, and pockets of gusty winds. But this is something that's progged in the long-range models that could develop this weekend into early next week. That is the GFS American Forecast Model solution. The other models don't grab this quite too aggressively. And, of course, we've seen that for the last several months in some of the long-range forecasts. The GFS model has been one to aggressively develop disturbances across the region, often with little to show for it. And so we are watching this. The invest area with JTWC just means it's getting some resources invested into this area of disturbed weather to investigate it. And so not all disturbances become a tropical storm or typhoon, but all tropical storms and typhoons begin as an invest area. So we are watching this in the coming days.
I kind of like the idea that you used Christmas colors on the map, too. A lot of the reds and the greens there. It's very, very festive. But there are a couple of other notes I want to say that I think are kind of interesting. Number one is the area where we've got a surface trough, and then the other part is what's happening now with all of the winds coming from the east, northeast, those trades, which I really, really welcome. And I'm kind of hoping that those trade winds will conspire to prevent this thing from developing a whole lot if it does get into this area.
Yeah, that is the case, and we're looking at more of a westward track with this disturbance. Right now, there are no indicators this would come up toward Guam or even the CNMI. So that's the good news. But typical with these tropical systems in this time of the year, they're usually more westward tracking toward Western Micronesia and Palau. So this is something we'll be watching later this week and through the weekend, specifically for the islands of Yap State and also the Republic of Palau, if this were to develop further.
All right. Point of personal privilege here, Mr. Speaker. Can we make it so that you guys keep an eye on it Saturday morning about 6 o'clock and make sure Brandon has to stay there until at least 9 so that he doesn't run and kick my ass in the Plumeria race?
Well, I have a long-range forecast out regarding the race on Saturday, and Brandon will not be placing in the race this weekend. That's a strong certainty for that. He is off island.
Oh, really? Well, so, no, we're not in the same division. It's just so embarrassing to get beaten by a guy with a stroller, regardless of what division you're in.
I question the stroller. I think that's a performance-enhancing device. I think there should be studies done on that.
We all think so. All right. Well, I forget. I think he's in the Masters division. So if you are in there as well, an opportunity. Now, you could do this a couple of ways. There's another 5K taking place Saturday morning starting at 6:30 or so. You can run in that, or you can just go, Landon's not here. That means I got a shot at placing in the Masters division at the Plumeria. Maybe getting yourself some cool stuff. Listen, always a delight talking with you, and appreciate you keeping an eye on the weather out there and keeping Brandon under wraps for some of the other runners. Hopefully this will be the only thing that's going to bother us between now and New Year's, and that means that the rest of the time we can be spent talking about cool things that you and your brother are going to be doing for the holidays. Any Christmas concerts you guys got working?
Well, definitely the Territorial Band has a number of concerts lined up. I'll be working with the director, Amanda Bateman, to get out the schedule, and they're going to be pushing out a lot of information once they get that Christmas performance schedule finalized. So lots of musical opportunities. There will be no Lincoln Logs this year just because Brandon and I both have an awful travel schedule. I've not seen Brandon since November 20th.
Not missing anything.
We will not see him until December 23rd.
Did you just look in a mirror?
It's more peaceful that way.
Somebody's going to tell him what we're saying here. It's going to disown both of us. Landon, it's always a delight talking with you. I hope I see you soon, my friend.
Yes, and if anything changes with this weather, we will be updating that information more regularly. So stay tuned.
Will do.
Have a great rest of the week.
All right, Brad. 888-8255, 888-TALK. 6:54 in the morning. I guess Tracy is watching on the Facebook side, but I'm looking at my phone because I want to see if she's got anything to give us an idea of what happened with the power. There was a glitch. It went out for some people. Might still be out for some people, but I'm getting reports back online that it has come back on. So hopefully it's just one of those little tiny glitches, maybe an accident, maybe just somebody walking by and he accidentally tripped, hit this. Should this be on? Let me turn that off. And then turn it back on. Sometimes like that kind of thing will happen around here. If there is, Tracy, something that our listeners need to know about, by all means, you can either put it there or stick it up on my WhatsApp so I can share it with everybody. Jose Martinez, Aquaman is a Christmas film. Really? A holiday water nymph who brings gifts to good girls and boys, but for the bad kids, leaves a pile of blank on their beds. And why not? Dot Jesus is there, Valerie Carbolito, Jeff Cook, Buenos and Afade. Which Jeff Cook is that? Is that the first dude? It is.
The first dude.
First dude is watching the program.
His wife.
I'm not.
But it was business.
It
was business.
Did you take a picture with my wife over the tree lighting? Yes, I did. Johnny at Two Lions Online, Dwayne Santos, Bill Fritton, Debbie Borja, and Jerome McDonald, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of people watching up on the program. Do me a favor while I have your attention on this. Like and share. There's an arrow that points out somewhere in whatever it is that you're watching or listening on, except the radio. Crazy. But if you are on social media, do me a favor, hit the like and share button. And so that everybody else has a chance to see that this is where everybody's coming around for morning entertainment and news and weather and all of that kind of thing. That would be great. If you're new around here, listening to the radio and going, we keep talking about stuff on the video and channels and YouTube and Facebook. Yes, we broadcast the audio on the radio, but we also send radio, audio, and video on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, ThePOINT.gu, which is our website, and even rumble.com. So all you got to do is, like on YouTube, just search for The Ray Gibson Show if you like it, or hit the notifications every time that screen goes, every time we go live there, you'll get an update. If you want to watch us on Facebook Live, just go to The Point on Facebook and sign up for notifications, etc. It's all the same thing. And you too, it's not just me. It's not just, hearing from me and Real Joe and Donna D. There is a very lively community of people, many of whom will generally agree with each other on certain things, but when they don't, oh baby, it's an axe fight in the streets, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, we like you.
And it's kind of, we refer to it as kind of a familia. There it is. PD7 tripped off line from Tracy at 6:21. Some customers experienced a brief outage. All affected customers were restored no later than about 6:28. The only other thing that happens from time to time is this might cause the street light down the street where you live, where you're supposed to be going through, to go into blink mode. And if it is, remember the rule, be the biggest car. Follow the biggest car through the intersection, because they'll let them...
Lead blocker.
Yeah,
lead
exactly.
blocker.
Are you talking about football? Can we talk about football now?
Yeah.
6:57 in the morning. Tomorrow, it will be the Patriots versus the Steelers.
Oh, wow, the Patriots.
I don't know about rankings, but I tell you what, in 12 games that they've gone out on 12 games that they have played in this new football season, they've only managed to win 2 of them. Ding, ding,
Put the
ding,
mortgage
ding,
on that game, Ray.
What's that?
Put the mortgage on that game and bet on the Steelers.
Dude, I don't know. Steelers are 7-5, 7-5. So they're kind of middling through the season as well. So I don't want to say that it's going to be a slaughter. I don't want it. I'm not going to say that's going to be like 40-2 in favor of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But you never know. I need to get together with some of the other guys that pay a little bit more attention to football and get their thoughts on all of this. I get you dates and times and maybe where. Yeah, it should be over by the time the procession starts, is what I'm thinking. So what you do is you go someplace and you watch the game and get absolutely hammered. And
get hammered.
Stumble up and down the parade route.
You're gonna walk slow anyways.
I'm sure you wouldn't be the first one. In fact, I'm sure I've had relatives that would show up at my grandmother's and granddaddy's house and have a couple of rounds before the procession would start, and just kind of, okay, all I got to do is find my way back here because this is where I parked the car.
The holy wine.
Walk this procession so that they can sober up. The 60s were grand on Guam. What can I say? Closing in on 7 o'clock in the morning. It's the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3. The Point. 888-8255 is the telephone number. Mean Machine is online and open right now. If you got some great pictures that you want to send, by all means, you're more than welcome to. Swing them out at 797-8255. And I think I got a picture here. Tattoo Shauna. There's Big Dave the Stickles.
Sticks.
And there's Dan and Triple E from Southern Mountain Gear. You've hooked up with all the right people there, kiddo. 7 o'clock in the morning. KUSG gotten you 3 years running. This is Pika's Best, The Point.
The shooting in Las Vegas. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Police responding to what they called a confirmed active shooter at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
I didn't hear much, but we got an alert. All text and messages at the same time. They said they put the building in lockdown. They shut all the curtains. Everyone moved to one side of the room.
He's one of the students evacuated from the Student Union building. Las Vegas police posting earlier that there appeared to be multiple victims, then posting that a suspect was contained. They are now saying the suspect is dead. No word yet on how or who it was. And again, no confirmation on any shooting victims. The U.S. Senate is set to vote at this hour on a procedural hurdle for a supplemental package that includes aid for Ukraine, as President Biden warns lawmakers about consequences if there isn't more U.S. support.
Russian President Vladimir Putin will not stop at Ukraine if his invasion is successful, President Biden says.
And history's going to judge harshly those who turn their back on freedom's cause.
We can't let Putin win.
The president wants Congress to approve a more than $100 billion spending bill that includes aid for Ukraine and Israel. Negotiations have stalled over including border and immigration provisions.
Republicans think they get everything they want without any bipartisan compromise. That's not the answer. That's not the answer.
Still, the president says he is willing to offer more on border policy.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Earlier today, the Justice Department announcing the first U.S. war crimes charges against 4 Russian soldiers accused of kidnapping and torturing an American during last year's invasion of Ukraine. DOJ is also investigating Hamas over the kidnapping and killing of Americans during the October attack in Israel. On Wall Street, stocks finish lower. The Dow down 70 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
People are saying the future looks uncertain.
Jobs, education, even our health.
Everything seems harder now.
They wonder if we're up to the challenges we're all facing.
We don't. We share in the proud history of our island and people.
We share the drive to serve and make life better for all of us.
We all share the will to overcome and succeed.
With part-time service in the Guam Army National Guard, you can share that too.
Join Guam's next greatest generation.
Contact us at 671-969-5967 or visit nationalguard.com/Guam to find out more.
Sponsored by the Guam Army National Guard and this station.
Chances are you've got some questions right now. Well, here's a couple answers. Lysol disinfectant sprays and Lysol disinfecting wipes together can be used on over 100 surfaces and kills 99.9% of viruses and bacteria. It even kills the COVID-19 virus. These are simple facts backed up by science. Lysol is suitable to protect your kids and pets. USA's #1, now protecting your homes. Lysol, what it takes to protect. Shop today at your Guam Kmart store.
Mental health and aviation, as the FAA sets up a committee to address the mental health of pilots and possibly air traffic controllers.
Tuesday, the FAA announced they were putting together the Mental Health and Aviation Medical Clearances Rulemaking Committee. They will provide recommendations by the end of March. In the meantime, the chair of the National Transportation Safety Board, Jennifer Hamady, said no one should have to think twice about their job before seeking mental health help.
The safety risk comes from a culture of silence around mental health, not about seeking help.
The effort comes after 44-year-old pilot Joseph Emerson was charged. He tried to shut off the engines in the middle of a passenger flight. He said prior to this, he learned the FAA would likely not let him fly if he was diagnosed with depression. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Now, Emerson was off duty riding in a cockpit jump seat when he's accused of trying to shut off the engines on an Alaska Airlines flight in October. He is scheduled to be arraigned tomorrow after being indicted by a grand jury in Oregon on 1 count of endangering an aircraft and 83 counts of reckless endangerment. The high-level coursework of advanced placement African American Studies is changing after controversy.
The College Board, an educational testing company, says it will launch the course in 2024 focusing less on slavery and the rise of Black Lives Matter and more on topics like Black influence in entertainment and historical events like the Tulsa Race Massacre. The course had been criticized as too political. Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis banned it on that premise. Some feared revision would water down content. The College Board says a lot of ground will be covered.
Fox's Gernal Scott, the course will be available to all schools, but offering it is their choice. Again, stocks finish lower. The Dow stays above 36K. Oil prices drop under $70 a barrel. Elisa Brady, Fox News.
Hafa, this is Josh here at APL. Our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
KFC's $5 breakfast deals are the best and most affordable ways to start your day. The Colonel's Chicken and Rice Bowl, $5. Chicken fried steak, $5. Sausage, biscuit, and gravy, $5. And they all come with a fresh coffee. KFC $5 breakfast deals are served starting at 6 a.m. daily at your favorite KFC restaurant. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Attention business owners. Upgrade your connectivity with Docomo Pacific's new business mobile plans. Whether you're upgrading your phone or bringing your own device, you can save big. Up to $20 a month. Enjoy unlimited talk and text locally and to the U.S. plus data roaming to the U.S., Japan, Korea, and the Philippines. Experience the power of seamless communication. Visit business.docomopacific.com today for more details. Some conditions apply.
Your 7 o'clock local news is brought to you by AB Risk Solutions.
Half a day at 7:06. I'm Donna DeJesus. Here's a look at your local news on The Point. The doctor who performed the second forensic evaluation on murder defendant Donovan Ornelius is expected to submit his final report to the court by early next year. Ornelius stands accused in the 2021 beheading of 51-year-old Andrew Ray Castro. Ornelius wanted a second evaluation performed after previously being found fit to stand trial. The findings are expected to be submitted to the court by the next hearing. Ornelius admitted to using meth at the victim's Santa Rita apartment before the killing. He is scheduled to be back in court in March. Meanwhile, Gura is looking to acquire the former San Vicente Catholic School, which closed its doors in Barrigada more than a year ago, to use the facility for community outreach services. Deputy Director Fernando Estevez says Gura plans to use federal funding under the Community Development Block Grant Program for the acquisition. Estevez says the agency would put in an offer, and the price would also depend on an appraisal of the property. San Vicente Catholic School closed in August of 2022 because of insufficient student enrollment numbers. The school operated for 67 years since 1955 before closing. Acting Governor Josh Tenorio says they started looking to acquire the facility after Typhoon Mawar. He adds that acquiring the property would not only prevent another derelict building, but would also increase access to community services. More news after this.
Whoever said no risk, no reward has never been sued. Hi, I'm Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and our job for over 70 years has been to help businesses just like yours manage risk. Manage risk? We will never be able to totally eliminate the myriad of risks every business faces, but we can help you manage them and recover when disaster strikes. From mom and pop operations to high-rise hotels, we're the experts businesses have counted on for many years. Call me today at 777-2668 for a free risk review and consultation.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
The PUC will wait until January to decide whether GPA can move to salvage a solar farm deal that Hanwha Energy never came through on. Hanwha signed a deal in 2018 to build a 60-megawatt solar farm and start selling power to GPA by December 2023. It never got off the ground. GPA General Manager John Beneventi says the cost of transmission lines to carry power from the project site to their destination basically doubled the costs. Now GPA wants to salvage the deal by giving Hanwha another 2 years to build a 41-megawatt solar farm that will also have batteries that can shift solar power from the daytime to the evening. But the PUC is concerned with whether Hanwha can be relied upon to deliver on the project at all after failing to do so over the past 5 years. Meanwhile, GPA's frequent load shedding has been putting a strain not only on the airport's finances, but also on its equipment, from the biometrics exit system to elevators and escalators. Airport management says the airport spends more than $150,000 a month to buy gas for the generators, has to pay overtime work for technicians, and increase the maintenance work on its own generators as a result of its participation in GPA's interruptible load program. The credit that was applied for the airport's participation in the program was substantially less than what the airport calculated based on the utility's schedule. Management is asking GPA to allow the airport more time for generator maintenance and recovery of costs and credit. And those are your top stories. Back to Ray with weather.
Just ask JB to send a couple of boys over. Take a look at the generators. I mean, what's the problem here? Listen,
Tap it with
we
a
want
wrench.
we want to be a part of this program. Can you do me a favor? Could you send a couple of guys over and take a look at things and hit us up? You can be our generator kuya for as long as
They smell like diesel.
As this is going on. There, you know what? Until I die, that will be. I don't know why more this year than any other year. The smell of diesel will always remind me of the summer of 2023, right after Mawar. and what the 60, 70 days or so it took, but whatever, I forget whatever it was, but it seemed to be a long time before we got electricity running at the Alutum site, and that meant that about every day I had to go up there and check the fuel. About every 2 days, 3 days, I'd have to have somebody come up and refill the tanks, and naturally there would all be a little bit of spillage going around here, and the smell kind of gets into everything, and it's with you for the entire rest of the day. Shall I put it down as a happy memory? You know what? I think I will. They were all growing times. What can I say? 7-11 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. 888-825-888-TALK is the telephone number. We got weather. I might get you some of that, but for those of you, weather. All right, I'll do it this way. Weather for the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. For tomorrow will be the same as it is today. Mostly sunny with highs near 88 degrees. Winds east 9 to 11 miles an hour. With the heat index, it'll only feel like 90 degrees. Mostly sunny on Feast of the Immaculate Conception Day with highs near 88 degrees. Partly cloudy tomorrow night. Maybe some isolated showers. It's mostly sunny again on Saturday. Daytime highs 88 degrees. Light east-northeast winds increasing 12 to 17 miles in the morning. Winds could gust as high as 22 miles an hour. So that's going to be something fun. Watch the Christmas lights and the decorations swing in the breeze. Sunrise this morning was at 6:31. Sunset tonight is going to be at 5:53. 20% chance of rain. And while it's mostly sunny, maybe an opportunity to get out there and do some beach time, maybe some water time. Those rip current risks have apparently gone away, and that is good news. 7:12. If you're wondering about the observance of the Santa Maria and Camalan, the Department of Education yesterday put out a note to inform the public that Friday is a holiday in observance of Santa Maria and Camalan, the patron saint of Guam. All public schools will be closed on that day. Classes will resume the following Monday, December 11th. GDOE appreciates the community support and understanding in this matter, as maybe they will use that time to figure out why kids aren't getting as many instructional days as needed. And, you just drop out a Friday in the beginning of December. I don't know. Maybe there's your clue. I'm just saying. It's 7:12 on the Ray Gibson Show. More like that on the way.
Ring in the season with Coca-Cola and Burger King's Win for the Holidays giveaway. Your chance to win one of 3 premium Coca-Cola prize packs at participating Burger King locations. Each prize pack includes a Coca-Cola branded outside pop tent, a cool Coca-Cola custom bike with helmet, a beach folding chair, and a large 54-quart cooler. Purchase any Whopper or chicken fries combo meal or frozen beverage. Enter the transaction code from your receipt on the official Coke Guam website. See restaurant for details. Promotion ends on December 31st, 2023. Drawing will be held on January 5th, 2024. Happy holidays from your friends at Burger King. You rule.
For all your real estate needs, call the professionals at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, and Lolita, and they'll take care of you on every step of the real estate process. No worries. Just contact Hoffaday Realty at 588-4232 or 588-HOFFA or email them at hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They're at 426 Challen, San Antonio, Suite 204 in Tamuning. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs. Portions of the program here being brought to you by NissanGuam.com on the World Wide Web. You pay attention to those guys? You should. You really should. There's always something going on, always something to crow about. And one of the big deals they've got right now is the fact that the Nissan Ninja is back in town. It maybe comes around a little bit more often than Santa Claus, but the same thing. You will save money on your purchase of incredible used cars, certified pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs at Nissan right now. And they're not all Nissans, different makes and models, all kinds of vehicles for every lifestyle. Every budget is represented there as well. Trade-in, welcome, easy financing, can get zero down on your approved credit, and they can approve your credit online at NissanGuam.com. Ray Gibson Show.
Rediscover talk radio here.
There's more.
Your FM News Talk Superstation. This is The Point.
Sometimes we change things up. It's not always APL into the guy with a deep voice. It was going to be today. American President Line brings you the Ray Gibson Show. They are delivering the future. Interesting times that we're living in. 7:15 in the morning. Who's on the phone?
Fefu live.
Hey, Lannis, is Shawnee?
Yes, I'm going to live from Fefu.
Here it is, 7:15 in the morning, and I know that somewhere in this States there is a Republican presidential debate, but I didn't get the word and I didn't get the graphics. Are we going to go hang out at Venue today?
Well, I think that the hard part for Venue is I'm trying to figure out how to even get News Nation. That's the problem. I mean, they're not on Rumble, like our first venue, but it's just not exactly in trying to get viewers.
Oh, so it's not. Oh, it's not. It's not like on a network.
No, it is not. And so, I mean, for all of us, I guess we'll check it on YouTube. So that's kind of part of the reason why.
But where is the going and hanging out? And somebody brings sandwiches and there's pizza there, and there's a bunch of other Republicans and conservatives.
Until 2024, Ray, and have to wait for President Trump to be involved for us to get back together again.
Even though he's not in the debate.
I know.
I
mean, there's 4 today.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Tuscaloosa, but just the absolute. I am not sure why the Republican National Committee decided to go to one of the newest networks on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it very hard. Even GTA doesn't even have news stations.
Yeah. So it's one of those things you're going to have to struggle to find the stream out there in the world somewhere, and then you got to figure out the mechanics of getting the stream on a less than smart TV, right?
That's right. And so not everybody has those different apps, so it makes it a little bit more challenging. So for us in Guam, if it was on one of the networks, I think it would. I'm sorry, on the either GTA, Docomo, whatever, it would have been okay, but not this time, and we'll just have to wait till 2024. And sorry about that, Ray. I know that you've been coming to all of them, so I appreciate that.
Especially the ones over at Venue, because it's near my house, and I get food, and there's people I can talk to about the variety of things. Well, I'll see if I can work out something at least in my schedule. Do you know what time it starts? About the same time?
Yeah, I believe I was just looking at it. It would be at 11 a.m. Guam time is when the actual debate's supposed to start. So
okay.
And again, all corrected for daylight savings and the like. I was making sure that I had the times correct.
Right. Okay, I got that. Listen, a couple of things I don't know that you pay attention to now. As everybody knows, Sean Gumatautau has a podcast, and I think this week saw the debut of our former colleague Sabrina Salas Matanani's podcast. Did you catch it?
I have not, only because. It's been, we're at the end of the semester at UOG, so my attention's been elsewhere. But I plan to listen to it a little bit later on, and when I have a chance, today or tomorrow.
And then Brandon Vera's got a podcast that I hear is doing very well.
Yeah. Yes, my understanding, and I think for some, I think the second episode is ruffling some feathers, so I have no idea what that means, but I'm going to check that out, too.
It sounds like a good excuse. Do me a favor, when you get a link, send it to me so I can send it out to the viewers as well. And because it's a whole other way to get. There's a lot of people with a lot of opinions these days, and there seems to be a shortage of regular media around for people to be able to express that editorial content and those opinions. And so when we've got podcasts, I think that make a difference, that advance an opinion that is debatable or in some cases remarkable, then I'll absolutely always think about putting some publicity for you guys on the air. Johnny, always a pleasure talking with you. And as you said, the coming to the ends of this semester at the University of Guam, what are your plans for 2024?
I think for me, it's focusing on what I've been the last couple of weeks is helping get Republicans elected up and down a ballot. That's been kind of my new little project, if you will. But also, and I mean that here locally.
Yeah.
But also,
of course.
I think importantly is just trying to refocus on a lot of different things. Actually, thinking about a reboot of the podcast in a different way. So it's a lot of things, irons in the fire, to include teaching at UOG again in the spring semester. So it's going to be busy for me, at least going into the new year, and excited for the support of my family and who's been kind of right there with me and, of course, keeping me in check.
Yeah, as families will do. It's like, oh, you're somebody? You think you are. 7:19 in the morning. On the screen right now for the viewers on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, The Point, etc., is an image that Real Joe scrounged from somewhere on the internet. I don't know where. Some kind of dark interweb thing that he found. It's a picture of Ding Scambalori. I see Tony Ada, Felix P. Camacho, Kaleo Moylan is sitting with Harry Chang over at what looks like the upstairs over at Touray. What do you know about this get-together, buddy?
You know, it's funny. I was talking to Harry Chang's other half, and I said, was everybody there separately at lunch? And then someone said, let's get a picture.
Right.
And it was likely that they were, at least I know two of them were sitting together for lunch, Tony and Felix, but the rest were all coming in for different meetings. And they said, hey, why don't you have a seat, take a picture? And then the picture just took off like wildfire across all Republican chats, all Republican, you can call it the the coconut wireless, everybody thinking, hey, what's going on here? But
yeah,
I think
Real Joe doesn't. We're not buying that
supporters
story.
of the party.
According to Real Joe, we're not buying that story.
Yeah, well, great supporters of the party, obviously.
Yeah.
And I've had a chance to talk to most of those people on that picture, so it's a good thing. We're talking about everything from congressional politics, how do we win the majority in 2024, how do we get majority of, and I mean at the legislature, and then obviously for the mayors, which will have 19 races all across the island. So a lot of interesting talk and the like. So yes, I think that was part of the discussion when that picture was taken at the most part. And they said, "Oh, how was lunch?"
I was like, "Would you have a BLT bagel, whatever?" I'm glad that you guys are having that conversation, especially since, and just a couple of guys talking politics here, especially since in the last several days there has been a pronouncement. Nobody's surprised by it, that Josh Tenorio is going to be putting his hat in the ring to try to become the first lieutenant governor to go from one office down to another office in the same term. That's going to be interesting if he's able to pull it off. No word on who his running mate is going to be. I've heard a variety of names, including Amanda Shelton and former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez, et cetera. But I'm sure you have noticed as well, to the degree that there is still a media here on Guam. There's a whole lot of pictures of him standing in front of something with a microphone and ribbon cutting over at GCC and turning on the lights at the Triangle Park. All of these photo ops that are going to be out there, and so it's got to kind of put the, I don't want to say fear of God, but go to condition orange for the Republicans. How are you going to defend against a popular lieutenant governor as he decides that he's going to be running, and who's on the bench for the Republicans?
Well, I mean, I'm glad you asked that. When we think about the entire landscape for gubernatorial politics, a lot of things will happen after the midterm next year. I think that when you start to see what will happen, if there's a loss of the, let's say, the legislature to Republicans, you can expect how will that impact Speaker Terlahi's projected run for the primary. Then that's been kind of scuttled. But also, it's just kind of the issue that Mike Nicholas had. Who is Josh going to run with? There's people we know he won't run with because it'll lose support from the base. And then, obviously, if they try to do a closed primary, and especially in this coming cycle, obviously Republicans are always for open primaries. But if they decided to go closed, that'll also affect their selection. I mean, it's just okay, great. You're out in front. You're talking about it in agate. Great, but what does that mean? Can we hook all of the issues that faced the Longueuil administration over the last 5 years and change? Absolutely.
I would run on that. If I was going to be running against him, I'd figure out a way to build a platform of my own, but I'd also run against the lack of any kind of record. I don't you think about, if you ask the question and try to answer it honestly, what has this administration accomplished in the last 6 years?
Oh, I was going to just say that too. And if you can list 3 or maybe try 5, that would be a great beer drinking game.
Yeah.
But at this point, for Republicans, our job is to reignite our base, to get candidates, quality candidates across between the legislature and the mayors, and then basically go and just try to kind of help our people. I mean, with common sense legislation, with great leadership, I guess Republicans are the ones doing it, and we will look at Adelup and maybe after
through a different kind of lens. Interesting. We'll talk about it a little bit more, and maybe we want to schedule a podcasting thing just for fun. I'll talk to you pretty soon. You have a great day from God's country.
A great show, and continue to go all the good work that I love listening, and I listen every morning on YouTube, so it's a good thing.
Well, let me get to one of your favorite parts of the show then. Jerry Roberts has got this morning's Extra Point. He is just ambling into the studio. I haven't had a chance to take a look at what's going on with the markets. I will tell you, though, there is a piece of good news, and that is that West Texas crude is now under $70 a barrel.
Saw that?
Just under $70 a barrel, but
there is an ETF, exchange traded fund, called NRGU, and has to do with gas prices, oil prices, and it tanked overnight. Tanked the last 2 days. Big time. It's down about maybe 10% the last 2 days.
What is that? What do you suppose that means down the road for? I mean, where energy is going to be important. I mean, it's wintertime, and I was talking to a relative in the States who said, "Holy smokes, it's cold here, and you can't get the heater hot enough."
Yeah, sure. In terms of, I don't know. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what they monitor in that fund, but it just zigzags wildly, and it was way up last week and way down this week. So I'm not sure, but the last 2 days it has gone seriously south.
I'm looking at all of the commonly exchanged fuels, and right now I only see Gulf Coast and Dubai oil that is in the green. Everything else is in the red at oilprices.com. All right, Jerry Roberts is in the studio. It must be time for this morning's Extra
Could be
Point.
time.
Yes, brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. Jerry.
Thank you. I was in the hospital for 3 days. I spoke about that yesterday. The last thing I mentioned about that yesterday stuck with me for the rest of the day. I want to dig into it, again today, because it just might be the single most important factor in your customer service approach. I'll tell you why next on the Extra Point.
Get closer to your next adventure with the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank. Every dollar spent can help you earn miles towards your upcoming trip. Earn 2 times the miles for $1 spent on gas, groceries, and United Airlines tickets. And earn 1 mile for every dollar spent on all other qualifying purchases. Plus, there's no expiration on the miles you've earned. Get on board with the First Hawaiian Bank United Credit Card. It all starts with yes. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to FHB.com/United.
Hofady, this is Kayla from APL Guam. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated team in Guam and the U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
I was at GRMC for 3 days, first in the ER for a couple, then upstairs for a day before being sent home. I spoke of the professionalism and the skill of everybody who attended to my needs. We naturally expect that medical staff will know what to do to deal with whatever challenge our particular situation might throw at them. Obviously, the technical skills are necessary in critical health issues. That being said, if you're like me and if you've been treated in various facilities or taken a number of medical tests, there's another level that separates the good ones from the great ones. This gets us back to the last thing I mentioned yesterday. When I was initially admitted to the ER, you get a number of nurses coming in for various purposes, then the doctor, and then more time with the nurses. Yesterday, I mentioned the excellent care given by Carla Haddock, the upstairs nurses, Kyle Tucker, Juan, and a young lady named Brittany. I didn't happen to get their last names, but they were excellent. Another was a technician named Edgy. Dr. Ming was another I appreciated. Of course, there were others, and anytime you start mentioning names, it's almost a guarantee that you're going to forget somebody. If you're listening, and if I left you out, it wasn't intentional. If you work at GRMC, please tell those folks that I've named them, that I've been talking about them and the good work they do. So back to the ER. Shortly after getting settled in there, a nurse walked in with a very similar haircut to mine, a bald brother from another mother. I mentioned that to him, and we began to chat. So now I'm warming up to this other level of service that I referred to. That nurse's name is Brian Moylan. He was professional in all aspects of his duties, but he brought more. He brought a sense of normality at a time that I would benefit from it. Think about this. You're in unfamiliar surroundings. Your level of normal, quote unquote, has been compromised, and you have all kinds of things swirling around in your head. While doing his work, Brian carried on a conversation with me about island things and life stuff, and that seemed to be very normal. Brian, as well as other GRMC staffers I mentioned, reminded me of a key component in dealing with people who come to you in need, even if not a medical need. The word I used yesterday is humanity. They all showed me a high level of humanity. When my mother-in-law passed away at GMH years ago, it was there too. When I was sent to Guam Radiology for testing a couple of days ago, there it was again. Let's look at this from a broader perspective. Humanity isn't limited to health care. Whatever you do for a living, it involves doing something for other people. Here's the key. When somebody needs medical care, medical professionals know something is wrong and needs attention. When people come to you for your services, you likely don't have any idea what they're going through that day, what kind of emotional baggage they're dragging around. That customer may have health issues, or a member of their family does, Maybe there's an issue with a child, financial trouble, they're not getting along with a boss, or a relationship is on the rocks, and then they have to come to you for something. Will that time with you lift them up or bring them down? Improve listening skills, emotional intelligence, and how to handle conflict. These skills, used well, will add to how that customer views your organization. If possible, don't just hire for technical skills. Hire people who exhibit the element of humanity. If they haven't got it now, expose them to training so they can learn. Then monitor their progress and help them grow in that. In addition, make sure that your supervisors have a sense of humanity and treat workers well. The case has been made many times that how well you treat your workers is how well your workers are going to treat your customers. Your workers, in many cases, own the relationship with your customers. Put that way, how should those workers be treated? Humanity is contagious. If you haven't got it at the level you want in your organization, what you need is somebody in leadership to get that good virus circulating. Yes, be at the top of your game in terms of your technical abilities. Then add a thick layer of humanity to that, and you've cracked the code to legendary service and customers who will never leave you. That's the Extra Point. Be responsible and make something good happen today. For 93.3 FM, The Ray Gibson Show and First Hawaiian Bank. I'm Jerry Roberts.
Humanity, being able to reach in and get in touch and try to stay on the same page as the people that you are serving. There's nothing like it. And we've got so many different avenues to be able to do that now, including social media. As an example, Real Joe writing on social media this morning about his Christmas wish list. And according,
oh man,
what you wrote it on the thing. I assumed it was up for grabs that we could talk about it.
Always.
I won't say exactly what he was asking for. I'll put the thing up on the screen. Jerry Roberts and this morning's Extra Point, again brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. And about time for us to jump into news and headlines with Donna D. This one brought to you, obviously, by the folks over at BK. That's short for Burger King, where they have 3 incredible prize packages that they'd like to share with you. And from them and Coca-Cola, you can win them. I don't know how. They'll tell you in the drive-thru over at the BK today. News here also being brought to you by Pika's Best. That's Auntie Loli and the team over at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, and Libby. A whole team of pros waiting to help you out. Get those real estate questions answered, et cetera, et cetera. 588-4232 or email hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. Real Joe looking at me like before. So before I get into the news and headlines, just an explanation.
I don't like those, Ray.
Of what's on the screen here. Real Joe. They're boxers, but there's a very specific kind of boxers that are out there. There are no lines. No lines, because
they don't see through the pants, your white pants.
I think that it's one of those things, Joe, where I think it's a big turnoff for women to look at a guy in a nice pair of pants and go, "Oh, he's got underwear lines." They make out the kind of underwear, almost the brand of underwear.
See through your capris.
Yes. So there's a kind now, and this is only one. I think it comes in brief styles where there's no bands. It's just the material smooth, just kind of ends, yeah. And there you go. It's no lines free underwear. And so what were you saying? Size 32?
Yeah, but briefs.
But briefs.
The kind Grandpa wore.
Oh, I like those in briefs.
The old school ones. They're comfortable, man.
We've got the Batman briefs here.
And not white, colored.
Seamless boxer briefs. Do you have a preference for colors? I think they.
No, I don't. As long as they're not white.
As long as they're
stains. Skid marks.
It's 7:34. Was this the kind of humanity you were talking about, Jerry Robert? Oh yeah, sure it was. Donna D now with that news and headlines. How about Donna? What did we miss?
GPA has announced that it was awarded $3 million by the Office of Insular Affairs to analyze stakeholder-driven pathways to Guam's clean energy future. The study, known as Guam 100, will set a clear path to achieving 50% electricity purchases from renewable energy by 2030 and 100% by 2040. And weather forecasters are tracking a tropical disturbance in the FSM this week. The system is likely to pass south of Guam with little impact. While the island should have nice weather for tomorrow's procession, there will be a few light showers in coming days, but winds will get stronger and seas and surf higher as the disturbance passes to the south this weekend. And the UOG Endowment Foundation has officially opened their ADS Scholarship for Business For business and accounting students, they are accepting submissions until 4 o'clock on Sunday, December 10. To be eligible to apply, you must be an undergrad with a declared major in business or accounting, submit your official transcript, and have a minimum grade point average of 2.5. Find out some more information online at give.uog.edu. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
Yeah, and even though I'm not the target for that, when you said 2.5, I was like, okay, I'm out already. Never mind that. This is an interesting story from the Guam Power Authority. Joyce wrote this, sent it out yesterday. GPA continues path to 100% renewable energy. Now, boy, there will be a dream come true. We'll all be driving electric cars.
I want to work the solar farm with you, Ray.
I want to work on the solar
Harvesting
farm.
the sun.
Old MacDonald had a solar farm. And everywhere that Mary went, E-I-E-I-O, or something like that. I can't remember. GPA continues the path to 100% renewable energy, but I don't know if they're talking about any kind of renewable energy that I like. The kind that I like here is waste to energy. It's 20 megawatts.
Burn it.
And it's clean, and we can burn it, and we'll use it.
Trash
we won't have to worry about
disappears.
trash. Will disappear. They will buy trash. They will because that's their fuel. Those people buy trash, so people will have an incentive not to throw it out in the boondocks. Just saying. And we got the other one here, which is nuclear energy. There are significant advances that are being made in almost portable kind of systems that you can buy. I interviewed a guy earlier this year that was touting something like that. Very, very scalable systems that you can bring out here, and I used to call them Walkman size or refrigerator size systems that you can bring out here, and all you've got to do is find some guys that can run it and keep the thing going. And for all intents and purposes, these will go forever and ever and ever. Amen. And every once in a while, you come in and refuel them, and they're good for another 50 years.
But scared, right?
Yeah, but everybody's just scared because we watched the China syndrome and meltdowns in third world countries that were experimenting maybe prematurely with nuclear electricity and that kind of thing. But I think maybe sometimes we should not be scared of the future there. 7:37 in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show. More like that on the way.
GTA Pop-Up Prepaid is spreading the holiday cheer. The Holly Jolly giveaway is here, and we're giving away a total of $3,000 in Payless gift certificates. From November 24th to December 31st, sign up for any GTA Pop-Up Prepaid's unlimited plans, and you'll automatically be entered. 5 lucky weekly winners will receive a $100 Payless gift certificate. Plus, there's an even bigger present waiting. The grand prize, $1,000 worth of Payless gift certificates to make this holiday season extra special. So don't miss out on this chance for a Holly Jolly holiday with Pop-Up Prepaid. Conditions apply. GTA, we start with you.
Subway just added 6 all-new sandwiches to the Subway series.
You gotta have number 23. The Hot Shot Italiano is the De Niro of subs, loaded with pepperoni and salami.
Come on now, get in the game. Pick number 19, the Pickleball Club. Ham, bacon, lettuce, tomatoes, onions.
Number 20. That's to be continued because there's so much new at Subway. The Subway series of 16 sandwiches is not just a roster. It's the greatest Subway menu of all time.
At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
But hey, where again? Portions of the program? Is it portions? Oh, Beyond the Box time. Dude, what was I looking at? I was looking at it just yesterday. I want to say I screenshotted it, but I don't think I sent it to the meme machine so everybody else could see. There it is. We've got 9th generation iPads for $399. 9th generation iPads for $399. And all of the iPads should be getting an upgrade to 17.2 this morning, which will add additional new features. And 9th generation will have all the technology that you need to be able to take advantage of it. 9th generation, this is the big iPad for $399. Ladies and gentlemen, Beyond the Box also has iPad Pros, right, starting at $999. Now, you're going to look and go, what's the big difference in price? There's significant different technologies on the inside of them, drive space, et cetera, and the kind of processing that you're going to be using. Even the screens are all different. It is my constant companion. I've got an iPad Pro that I keep with me, and I keep charged all the time. Get the pencil. I know how you are. I'm already spending $999 for the iPad. I don't need the pen. Yes, you need the pencil. And then the next thing that you do is you go out and buy a thing called Like Paper. It's a screen protector that goes on it, but it has texture. So when you're using the Apple Pencil on it, it feels like you are writing on paper. Get set up with all of this technology just in time for Christmasing your family and your friends and even yourself at Beyond the Box at the Micronesia Mall. So I just love every opportunity I get to evangelize about the iPad. Now you might be wondering what it is I'm using on the iPad all the time. There's certain things that you don't want to know, but I will tell you that that among the amazing things that I like doing is I use this piece of software called Notability, and Notability allows me to adjust PDFs, come up, write out my own notes, that kind of thing. You've got a PDF of a calendar, all of a sudden that becomes bang, that's your diary, and you got catalogs, save them the mailer, and I just download catalogs from all my suppliers and scroll through them for things that I need. Really, really cool technology, and you can find it I think there's a fee for it, but it's not all crazy. Get up and go crazy. What have I got here? Did we already bring up the traffic noise? I hear it in the background. Do I see traffic? Even worse today than normal up around DePauw. Not sure what's going on there. It's all the same direction, so probably not an accident, just a lot of cars. That's meeting up with very little traffic at Leche, Macheche, and Seng Song. A little bit of traffic over at the intersection of 1 and 3, southbound Marine Corps Drive over by the Micronesia Mall. Fairly clear right now, just a little bit of intersection traffic. Oh, my God. Can I tell you how crazy it was yesterday on the road?
It's Christmas time,
My
Ray.
brother says we're gonna have birthday dinner tonight in Tumon. I said okay, and I purposely waited till like 5:30. I figured by 5:30, getting from Mongmong to Mighty down to
all of us thought the same thing, Ray.
Into Tumon. I thought it'd be a straight shot. Took the Magagaga Highway, and even before the shipping warehouses, I got stopped in that slow butt traffic, and then I finally got on the Marine Corps Drive. I'm thinking, okay, just take that turn down by JFK, everything gonna be all right, blah 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 blah. And I'm trying to make that turn down to JFK, stalled car on Marine Corps Drive, and that slowed things down for just about everybody. It doesn't look like that's happening right now. So just intersection traffic along those streets in Tamuning around the Kmart area. Moving down to the Tumon area, nothing major to talk about. 8, 10, and 16, busy on the 8 side for every reason that I've ever brought up in my life. We've got dog and out traffic on Route 8 all the way in until just after you pass Venue, and then a little bit of traffic on Route 4. I should say the usual amount of traffic on Route 4. Not going to see a whole lot between Agutya and Big Navy, but when you get to Big Navy, it will slow down just on the way into the gate. Tiny bit of traffic associated with construction down there. And I think that's it. Lots of traffic here this morning on The Point.
Santa's coming and things are looking up. Bank Pacific has rolled out Rudolph's favorite, My Christmas Loan, with the annual percentage rate as low as 7.49% and up to $50,000. And with our Bank Pacific contactless Visa debit card, you have the flexibility of using your money when you want, where you want. My Christmas Loan, contactless Visa debit card. Let's make Christmas season merrier in 23. Equal opportunity lender, credit conditions apply. Merry Christmas from Bank Pacific.
LimeAway is the expert hard water cleaner that provides solutions to your lime, calcium, and rust stains. It's scientifically proven to eliminate lime scale deposits, leaving your home clean from hard water stains, bathtub, bathroom tiles, shower doors, sinks, and toilet bowl stains. LimeAway can eliminate them all. Get your bottle of LimeAway at your nearest mom and pop store and never be embarrassed by those ugly stains again. LimeAway, distributed by Cosmos Distributing.
Portions of the Ray Gibson Show being brought to you by Kim and Ron over at Security Title. You doing buying, selling, trading up on some property here? Best way that you can find out whether or not there's anything to worry about on the title is actually have somebody look at it, and that's what they do, and they can figure out whether there's a bump or a bristle or something like that in it and let you know right quick. They're good at it. Nobody better than Kim and Ron over at Security Title. Ray Gibson Show and the countdown brought to you by thebougieboony.com on the World Wide Web. If you got a dog that needs some salon treatments, then by all means, this is the place to do it. And you can do it now at some fantastic rates. 18 days worth of shopping left in front of you to get something cool for your dog, like some salon treatment. If you don't have a dog, maybe you know somebody that does. Be thoughtful about it. Hey, listen, I saw your dog with the stank breath and the eye boogers, and I know a lady named Katie. Be happy to take care of them for you. So get that taken care of at thebougieboony.com.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
If you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube Live or the Point.gu, etc., Rumble, you might be wondering, why is that Amazon page still up there, Ray? Please take it down. It's making me feel uncomfortable. What's the matter? What's the matter? Is you don't like looking at men's underwear? Huh? What, are you sexist or something? What's that? I leave it up there just on a question, and that is, I grew up, no lie, I came up in the 1960s and 70s, and I come from a land of white underwear. Or boxers. We had, Danny had boxers. I've gone through a boxer phase in my life. And one of the reasons why I like boxers is because they come with patterns on them. It looks like shorts. You can go outside and empty the trash.
Yeah, but people still know, Ray.
Walk the dog.
Some of us know it's underwear.
It's okay. It's all right. But the question is, it's not so much that. Like I said, I come from the land of white underwear. And so when I see the Tonka blue and the Tonka red underwear colors, I just wonder, is there a market out there for guys to wear that? And I feel like there needs to be some kind of a scientific, like uber scientific survey that is done out there, and just only asking guys of a certain age, over 12 or something like that, what their preferences are for underwear. Do you prefer cheetah print? Leopard skin. Zebra stripes or something like that. I'd like to keep everybody off balance here. So I don't know. I guess there's a pattern. There's a color for everybody. And I don't know why I'm going to fixate on that for just a little bit. One of the stories that we talked about yesterday, and not very much. It was kind of an interesting story from one of the newspapers. I know it's KUAM, right? Where they were talking about taking prisoners from Guam up to the CNMI. Now, this wouldn't be like a prisoner swap like they're doing in Israel and Gaza. This is what we would house them there. And I thought it was interesting. I guess the topic came up somewhere or in some kind of interdepartmental, inter-island get-together that, let me see, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, I see my cousin Freddie Berdalia there, and a few other folks. Guam State Clearinghouse Officer Stephanie Flores with Director Freddie Berdalia, Melanie Brennan, et cetera, et cetera. And I was wondering, just how fully cooked this thing is. And seemed to be, some support for it, very preliminary. I think they're just in the, quote, meeting phase of this all right now. But then this morning, as I'm going through the regional news, there's a story in the, which one is this? Mariana's Variety. Says Guam, NMI, corrections deal, quote, still in early stages. It's just still in the early stages. No commitments have been made, nothing like that. And then there was another one, which is odd because the page, when I went looking for it, it was gone. Saipan Tribune writing, transfer of Guam inmates won't happen unless NMI is okay with it. And it's got me wondering if they're already starting to walk it back, if they're already starting to go, whoa, wait, hold on, that was a great idea, and after we sing Kumbaya and maybe drink a little bit of that mass wine or something like that, everybody feeling kind of groovy, and somebody going, you know what, my brother, you should let us take care of your prisoners, bro. You ought to let us do it. I know you guys are overcrowded out there. We might have some room over at my place.
Same diet.
Why don't we just, hey, bro, I'll do this for you. I know that you're just Guerrero, but I am De Leon Guerrero, and that means that we're related. Let's get your prisoners and my prisoners to Hello. And then all of a sudden they get back to Saipan and go, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm not sure I was authorized to even start the conversation on this deal. I'm just saying, that's what the headlines kind of look like to me here this morning. Won't be too surprised if there's some kind of reaction out somewhere. 7:48 in the morning. It would not be a bad thing unless maybe you or somebody in the NMI going, I live here because I wanted to get away from those thugs that they have on Guam, those ice keki guys. So they're going to come over to our prisons and infect our guys with their metropolitan criminal ways and styles. All of a sudden, when our guys get out there, they're just going to be just as bad in Saipan as it is in Guam. I can hear and would be able to fully rationalize that conversation. In 10 minutes, it'll be 8 o'clock in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. Who'd you find?
Pika's Best.
Pika's Best. Alec is on the line. Buenas and Holiday. Pika's Best. Let me just congratulate you on your multiple years of Pika's Best Mayor ever since they started doing it, right?
Yeah, well, ever since I've been elected mayor, thank you so much.
Well, you're very welcome. I'm Pika's Best radio personality. Did you heard? Did you get the memo?
I heard.
You guys are so humble.
You're so good.
Pika's Best radio station. 3 years running. I couldn't be prouder.
Right?
But if I don't toot my horn, I don't know who will. So at 7:50 in the morning, Mayor Jess Allig is on the line, and a couple of things. Since you are Pica's best mayor and currently in charge of the mayor's council, I would like you to do all of us a favor and send word out to DPW.
Okay.
Right. And ask Vince to go out there and clean up the medians on Guam. Could you do that for me?
Oh my God! You're calling the wrong
dude.
person,
He'll listen to you. He listens to you. He doesn't listen to me. I don't know why.
Okay, we'll try again.
Because I got a lady complaining on Facebook Live yesterday, and then a guy calling in and complained actually on the air about the state of it's the medians. They're there, they fulfill a purpose, and sometimes during the day you can see them if you know where they are all the time, but at night it gets a little bit more difficult because there's no yellow paint on a whole lot of medians on Guam, even down in Tumon. I was down in Tumon last night looking for you and Uncle Carl, but I never found you. But I as I was passing by the police Coban, there is a median there that is practically invisible if you couldn't make out the shape on the roadway, because the concrete side of it, which should be optic yellow and maybe even reflective, was just all dingy, needs to get pressure washed and clean. And you know how they've got the paver stones in between?
Correct.
Where, because it's Tumon. And we don't need that in Petey, but, in Tumon, we roll out the bougie completely. But they've got these paver stones in them. I've been to Home Depot. Those are supposed to be red. You're supposed in the very least orange, clay-colored, and you can't make it out. I got a picture of it on the screen right now. And like I said, they don't listen to me over at DPW. Vince Ariola does not work for me, but he works for you.
Well, not really.
No.
And I laugh about it and we joke around about it because, man, that's all we can do right now. But it is serious. For us, for the mayors, it has been a problem, and we try our best to figure out what we can do within our own means, right, in our own villages. But yeah, none of us understand why this is not a priority. And if it is a priority, why don't we know about it? I don't know, maybe a year or two ago, we did this big ribbon cutting on Ordachal and Pago Road. I don't know if you remember that.
It shut down the traffic for 2 hours. Of course I remember it.
I realized that I got there. I think I got there like at 7 a.m. and I'm thinking, what are we doing? But, that was the start of something that was supposed to be island-wide. And when, in fact, we don't see it, right? Down in Petey, I mean, the people of Petey don't really pass through Polaris Point all the way through Naval Station, but the people down south do. And they call me. I mean, I get a call at least every week, more than once a week, about the road. And it's like, I can't do anything. I can report it. I can ask. I can beg. And that's all I can do.
Right.
And FEMA, we have learned a lot. One of the things that the villages have learned this storm after Mawar is the work with FEMA and what we have to do to prepare ourselves. And that's the position that I take in the Mayor's Council, that we, in the 19 villages, you have to posture yourself for the next event, whatever next disastrous event arises. We have to be prepared because we know that not everyone is looking out. Maybe they are, but they don't know our details. And the details matter. And just like the road striping, that's not huge for some people, but that matters. And those of us that are aging, we get it. Yeah, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's just we've learned so much in the last few months that I think I'm looking forward to really being a more prepared council in the coming year. Again, we know what the islands should look like. We know what the responsibilities are for the various agencies. But sometimes we really just have to go outside and think out of the box and figure it out.
Solve the problems on your own.
Yeah,
I don't know how hard it is, right? I mean, I don't know what the cost is. We got miles and miles of medians all over Guam, and some of them that look like they were just painted last week, and then right down the road from where they are, the next set of medians, and now they're just covered in road grime and soot. And
tell you that this is not the year. This is not Christmas. Christmas is coming in 2025. I will continue to say that. I will continue to say that. Christmas will come for the people of Guam in 2020.
Oh, election year.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's coming.
All right. Well, it seems like a long time for people to wait, considering we're paying taxes in real time, considering the excess revenues that the government getting.
You need a savior to win. So someone's going to save Guam. Someone's going to save Guam. I don't know who.
7:55 in the morning.
We all know who.
While I was talking, I got a note from Crystal Paco, San Augustine, from the governor's office that said, which medians I'll have addressed? And my response was, all of them.
All of them.
All of the medians.
Thank you, Crystal.
I'll see you and Josh out there, and we'll just paint meet. I'll help. I'll pressure wash some meetings because I got a good ERC pressure washer, and I'll just go out there and get some of that work done. You and Josh, you can come and paint.
Hold on. Ray. I just last week, no kidding. Friday going into Saturday, Sunday, the grass was being cut on the side of the roads from Adelup all the way to Assen. I am not kidding. As soon as they got to the PD boundary, they stopped. But not only did they stop, they just took the riding mower and did the riding mower portion. But what about the guardrail? Who the heck's going to cut the guardrail? The resident? But who owns the guardrail?
Government.
The government, right? And so when the guardrail breaks, the government's responsible. When there's grass overgrown and it needs to get painted, nobody knows who's responsible. Just like the bus stops.
Just like the homeless. Just like the homeless. You go, wait a second, we can't. They're on private. Yeah, they're on private property. We can't move them. Fine. I guess you'll have to talk to the landlord or the owner of the property. And then if they're on public property, well, they're on public property. We can't move them. Right. And I'm going. Neither one of these things is incongruent with the other. They're mutually exclusive, and we've got to figure out something that we can do. Anyway, 888-8255. It's not really why I called, but what the hell? We've got a couple of minutes left in the hour. We got a couple of minutes left in the hour. It's the Liberation. One of the PDN or somebody's got a story about you guys getting ready for Liberation festivities. This one would be what, 80? 81?
Oh, 80? Yeah, the 80th. Yeah, the 80th.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've been talking about it. And, GBB last year, they ran a survey at the block party. And we took a look at the survey. And, of course, with the top 5 events that people wanted, I don't recall. I don't remember it right off the bat. But
Real Carnival, parade.
No, it wasn't carnival. I know it was fireworks, parade, family events, food, and drone chauffeuring. But yeah, so we took that and we looked at what they wanted to see. Also, a lot of cultural events was something that just came up a lot, and there was like 1,000 people surveyed. So we're going to take that to heart because we feel that it does need to come back to culture and to Guam and to being Chamorro. So we'll take a closer look at that. Of course, we're going to have a Queen's contest. We're going to have the parade. I think we're going to do something different when it comes to the memorials as far as commemoration, doing something a little more for the 80th. And then, of course, one of the suggestions was, or the most suggested time frame was a weekend event. So we'll take that into consideration. There was very few that did like a whole month event or even 2 weeks event. So we have to take that into consideration because in the past the Mayor's Council did like a full month or 2 months of something, and it really was not as profitable. And we actually think.
But lose money on that. Well, Liberation is on the 21st is a Saturday in 2024.
I think it's a Sunday.
Yeah, you're right. It's a Sunday.
Yes, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then the Monday would be a holiday.
Okay with me.
And, so it'll work. So the parade on the 21st.
Right.
For sure we're going to have a parade. What the
mechanics
and the details have not been, ironed out. But we're going to work on the Queen's contest because we need to have an 80th Liberation Queen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me know, Joe, if you have anyone in mind.
Joe?
But I think the rules say you have to be born female. Oh, no, be careful. We can't talk about that.
Yeah, no. It's a queen. It is a queen thing. Born female. We can have a whole separate division. If you want to have a tranny thing, you go right ahead. But don't mix up the what is it? Biological boys and biological girls. Can we avoid that nonsense, please? Don't tell any of the people over. Don't tell any of your activist nuts. All right, 7:59 and change. It's always a delight talking with you. Glad to know that you and I are still pissed off about the same things. I'll chat with you soon, buddy.
Okay, take care. Adios.
Adios. Pika's Best on Pika's Best.
No further threat. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That update moments ago from police in Las Vegas after responding earlier to reports of an active shooter at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas campus, where a search continues, though police have also said the suspect is dead. Sheriff's officials just holding a briefing.
The sheriff there, Kevin McMahill, saying that they continue to go, in his words, building by building. But it's important what he said there, that he did not mention anything about looking for another suspect. He said, quote, "We are looking for additional victims."
Fox's Jonathan Hunt. There's no confirmation on any number of victims at this point or any possible motive. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries wishing former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy nothing but the best after McCarthy announced he's leaving Congress this month, not finishing his 9th term.
While I'll be departing the House at the end of this year, I will never, ever give up fighting for this country that I love so much.
This less than 2 months after his ouster as Speaker. President Biden pressing Congress to approve more aid to Ukraine before it dries up at the end of this year.
Abandoning Ukraine now, President Biden warns, would only strengthen Russian President Vladimir Putin.
If Putin takes Ukraine, he won't stop there. It's important to see the long run here. He's going to keep going.
And the president says that could draw in U.S. troops to defend NATO allies. A supplemental spending bill for Ukraine aid is stalled as Republicans insist on additional immigration and border provisions, a step President Biden says he is willing to take.
We need to fix the broken border system. It is broken.
But he says Republicans must accept bipartisan compromise.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The president spoke ahead of a procedural vote on his package in the Senate. America is listening to Fox News.
Boss, I got run over by a forklift.
Boss, I crashed a company truck.
What do we do? Our warehouse and inventory are gone.
Hi, this is Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and it's time for Risk 101. Everything you just heard are examples of risk your businesses can face. Our job is to ask the hard what-if questions and teach you how to reduce your exposures and help you recover if things go sideways. We've got decades of experience in Micronesia working with businesses big and small. Call AB Risk Solutions today at 777-2668 for a free inspection and quote.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
KFC's $5 breakfast deals are the best and most affordable ways to start your day. The Colonel's Chicken and Rice Bowl, $5. Chicken fried steak, $5. Sausage, biscuit, and gravy, $5. And they all come with a fresh coffee. KFC $5 breakfast deals are served starting at 6 a.m. daily at your favorite KFC restaurant. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
The Facebook parent company is sued again, accused of failing to protect young users.
In a lawsuit filed against Meta Platforms and its CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, the state of New Mexico alleges Facebook and Instagram recommend sexual content to underage users, harm children and teenagers' mental health through addictive algorithms, and allege the company is aware of the serious harm its products can pose, but is yet to make sufficient changes. The suit echoes one filed by dozens of other states earlier this year.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. Meta says it disables accounts for violating safety policies and shares information with law enforcement. Wisconsin's governor vetoes a bill that would have banned gender-affirming care for children.
Democratic Governor Tony Evers with his veto pen striking down a bill pushed through Wisconsin's Republican-controlled legislature that would have banned minors in the state from receiving puberty blockers and sex change surgeries, a measure the governor says in part emboldens hate and violence and threatens the safety and dignity of LGBTQ Wisconsinites.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. The bill's supporters say it would have protected children and that the governor's out of touch with reality. He used comedy to take on difficult issues.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that made writer and producer Norman Lear has died. He was 101 and dominated sitcoms in the early 70s and beyond, from All in the Family, Sanford and Son and the Jeffersons, to Maude, One Day at a Time, and many others.
He was also a World War II veteran, flying combat missions over Europe in a B-17 bomber before starting a successful career writing for TV shows in the 50s and then creating his own. He won awards including multiple Emmys and the National Medal of Arts, and was in the inaugural class inducted into the Television Academy Hall of Fame in 1984.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Stocks finished lower. The Dow dropped 70 points, but stays above 36K. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Your pup deserves to have healthy skin and a smooth, soft coat, so book your appointment today at the Bougie Booney Dog Salon in Upper Tumon. Yes, that's Bougie, B-O-U-J-I-E. Grooming services for all breeds and sizes include a bath with high-quality shampoo and conditioner, haircuts, de-shedding, and complimentary nail trims. The cutest part is the Christmas photo shoot. You gotta see for yourself. Check them out at the Bougie Booney on Instagram. Book your appointment online at thebougiebooney.booksy.com. WhatsApp 797-4163 or reach out on FB and IG.
GTA Pop-Up Prepaid is spreading the holiday cheer. The Holly Jolly giveaway is here, and we're giving away a total of $3,000 in Payless gift certificates. From November 24th to December 31st, sign up for any GTA Pop-Up Prepaid's unlimited plans, and you'll automatically be entered. 5 lucky weekly winners will receive a $100 Payless gift certificate. Plus, there's an even bigger present waiting. The grand prize, $1,000 worth of Payless gift certificates to make this holiday season extra special. So don't miss out on this chance for a Holly Jolly holiday with Pop-Up Prepaid. Conditions apply. GTA, we start with you.
LimeAway is the expert hard water cleaner that provides solutions to your lime, calcium, and rust stains. It's scientifically proven to eliminate lime scale deposits, leaving your home clean from hard water stains, bathtub, bathroom tiles, shower doors, sinks, and toilet bowl stains. LimeAway can eliminate them all. Get your bottle of LimeAway at your nearest mom and pop store and never be embarrassed by those ugly stains again. LimeAway, distributed by Cosmos Distributing.
Decorate yourself for the holidays. Visit GU Ink Hustle Tattoo and Piercing next to Pyology in Tamuning. Purchase gift cards and gift yourself a new piercing and some tattoos. Call 649-8287 to book your appointment. Follow them on Instagram as well at GU Ink Hustle.
Your 8 o'clock local news is brought to you by Nambo Insurance. Skip the line, pay online. It's fast, easy, and secure. Visit nambo.com for more information.
Top of the day, it's 8:07. I'm Donna DeJesus with a look at your local news on The Point. Senator Frank Blas Jr. is recommending that the governor create a comprehensive task force composed of experts in all aspects of healthcare delivery to evaluate the state of GMH, propose realistic solutions to the sources of the problems, and execute actions to enhance the quality of care and service delivery. In response to Blas's letter, the governor's spokesperson, Crystal Paco San Agustin, said Adelup appreciates that the senator recognizes urgent actions must be taken to help GMH, and Governor Lulian Guerrero and her team want to work with him moving forward. She added that along with the committee, hospital authority leadership and an array of current committees and existing working groups are focused on meeting the standard of care. Meanwhile, the Defense Post has reported that the U.S. military plans to deploy ground-based intermediate-range missiles in the Indo-Pacific next year to enhance deterrence against China. A senior fellow at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, Ankit Panda, says these will be permanently deployed to U.S. territories in the region, primarily Guam. The Army hasn't revealed the deployment location. The Army Pacific's Public Affairs Officer Colonel Rob Phillips has confirmed that the U.S. Army regularly executes high-mobility artillery rocket system operations and adds that U.S. Army Pacific intends to deploy missiles into the Indo-Pacific region. More news after this.
Go green, go hybrid. Go to Nanbo Insurance, and your next power bill is on us. Insure your hybrid car at Nanbo and get up to $350 towards your next power bill. That's instant savings for keeping our island clean and green. Nanbo has been providing Guam with over 50 years of reliable and affordable auto insurance. At Nanbo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit nanbo.com or call 477-9754 for details.
A group of U.S. lawmakers is prompting the Department of Homeland Security to discontinue the discretionary parole program that leaves the CNMI door open to Chinese travelers. The lawmakers say the lenient immigration policy has opened the floodgates for all sorts of problems in the Commonwealth, including drug trafficking, illegal immigration, organized crime, and possibly espionage. Under the U.S. immigration law, foreign citizens are required to obtain either a non-immigrant visa for a temporary stay or an immigrant visa for permanent residence. The CNMI is the only U.S. territory where where Chinese nationals can enter without a visa. And the Mayor's Council is now working on plans to celebrate next year's 80th Liberation Day. Mayor's Council President and PD Mayor Jesse Allig says a survey done by GVB at the Liberation Festival showed what top 5 things residents liked in celebrating Liberation Day: fireworks, food, a parade, family events, and a drone show. Allig adds that residents would like to see more cultural events and an event over the weekend. This year, there was no Liberation Day parade since Guam was still recovering from Typhoon Mawar, but residents and visitors celebrated at the Chamorro Village Festival Huts for the Liberation Block Party. Next year's Liberation Day falls on a Sunday, so mayors discussed having a 2-day event. And those were your top stories. Now back to Ray with weather.
I enjoyed it yesterday at the Liberation festivities. I had a fantastic time hanging out with the GVB people. They brought in a dance troupe from Japan that is a bunch of Japanese ladies of different ages and kids that buddy up with Frank Rabon and did Guam cultural dances. They perform all over Japan.
Was that same group you showed in the video?
Yeah, same group I showed in the video. Absolutely terrific people. There was that going on. Obviously, there was a lot of food, and they'd taken the. I guess it's nice because they're using the pavilions at the Paseo for something, at least for that time. Otherwise, I think it's just someplace for the homeless to be able to sleep under. But it's not a bad time that they put together last year. But I definitely missed the parade. What?
Oh, caller's asking what happened to the Christmas lights.
Where?
You used to have Christmas lights on your picture frame feed.
Oh.
And I forgot about it. Did you?
No, I did not.
One time?
I've just honestly been, I don't want to say I've been
decorated yet.
Super busy, but I've had a bunch of other stuff where I've been working on other stuff. So it's without getting too deep into the details, because I got to, partners, we got to keep things secret. This is an interesting time in the media. There's a lot of opportunities that I've been exploring, and a lot of things that I have been pushing the button on already. And I've got it. It's in the thing, the little flashing lights, and I'll see if I can remember to put that in there today. But thanks very much. Otherwise, the twinkly lights you can find all over the island, places like the Triangle Park. And I noticed that even my neighbors are starting to go ahead and now that Thanksgiving is done and we've got a couple of paychecks in, and we found out for sure that our $100 credit's going to be going to the GPA. Okay, let's go ahead and light things up. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, overnight lows of about 78 degrees. All day long, it's going to be mostly sunny in the forecast. Now, I know sometimes I say mostly sunny and you go, oh, okay, this means it's going to be hot. Actually, with the heat index, it's only going to be about 90 degrees today, so that's the good news. Same thing for tomorrow, mostly sunny all day, partly cloudy in the evening, and mostly sunny on Saturday with highs around 88 degrees as well. A 20% chance of rain over the next couple of days. I got sunrise this morning at 6:31. Sunset tonight is going to be at 5:53. Hashtag tell the others. Now, there's a significant number of people that aren't going to be working tomorrow, and so instead of a regular Thirsty Thursday, we're going to have to call it a night a little bit earlier if you're not working tomorrow. Or if you are working, but you realize that everybody's super low expectation from the boss day, I'd go ahead and have another one. Drive carefully, because otherwise the cops. 8:12 in the morning, there's news and weather together on The Point.
Wow, nice smile. So perfect and all.
Thanks. I owe it all to Dr. Robert Yang and his smile team. They do wonders for a healthy, happy mouth.
Got teeth? Don't wait until they hurt. Schedule your routine checkup and cleaning with Dr. Yang and his smile team. Suite 119 in the East West Business Center, Upper Tumon. Call 647-8702 or 3.
The best thing that happened to teeth since toothpaste.
Dr. Yang and his smile team.
They make smiles happen.
Introducing My Rewards from 76 Circle K, a new and exciting way to fuel your savings. Get rewarded while purchasing your favorite items like Circle K coffee, Polar Pop, hot dogs, and more. Save 25 cents off per gallon and fuel your savings with My Rewards. Download the My Rewards Guam app. 25 cents off per gallon is valid for up to 20 gallons. One time per day. Certain exclusions apply. Visit 76circlekguam.com for more details.
Hey, it's the Ray Gibson Show, being brought to you by the guys over at NissanGuam.com and the World Wide Web. Can't see the median? Don't worry about it. If you're in a Nissan Frontier, you won't even feel it. Won't even feel it. The thing is made to take everything that Guam can throw at it, including 6 or 7 inches worth of concrete on the road. Guaranteed that you're not going to get stuck unless you really, really do something dumb. And I think the Nissan Frontier has got the tools and things that you need in it so that you don't do anything dumb. I'll give you an example. As I was driving around the roadways yesterday, I wasn't really paying all that much attention, and I was looking at a car, stalled vehicle in my lane. It's just coming down JFK, and it was in my lane. And I thought I need to get into the middle lane, and I put the signal on and waited an appropriate amount of time. I kind of turned my head, and I wasn't really sure, but I thought I'd make it go there anyway. But there was a car in the lane. It was back a little bit, but it was too close for the Frontier, and it gave me a little beep. To let me know that there was already a car in that lane. And so I stepped on the gas a little bit, got a little further ahead, and I was able to get in. I mean, that's the kind of thing that every driver can use. And there's more of it. They got backup sensors, and they got cameras all over the place, bristles with cameras. It will change, literally retrain the way that you park. You get into a Nissan Frontier, you're going, but it's kind of a big truck, man. I'm not going to be able to. Number one, it's not that big. Number two, you will be the perfect parallel parker within a very short time of driving the Nissan Frontier, because it's got all of these different parking assistant gizmos and the cameras where you can see the curb, the car in front, the car in back, and all of that stuff. I really encourage a test drive, whether you're parking, you're taking it into parking over at like the Doucet building, which is the ultimate Guam parking challenge, or anywhere else on the Guam roadways. You can get yourself pre-qualified and plenty more. Find out details on your new Frontier at NissanGuam.com. It's 8:15. Ray Gibson Show also being brought to you by the guys over at APL. They are delivering the future.
The Coconut Wireless is back. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Yep, there it is, 8:15, 8:16 in the morning, and on the screen right now, sharing it with a stretch of median that is right across the police department in Tumon, right there. So you get that X-off area where you're not supposed to block the way.
Oh yeah, right there by BK.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Exactly. So right about there, and you can see where maybe you can't. Just different shades of gray. That's what the median there looks like. In the very least, you should be able to see the yellow on the side, or red. I take red on the side, but I prefer yellow. You know what I'd really like? I think Nate Horn sent me a picture of it yesterday. In Australia, in some places, they're not using reflective paint anymore.
No, what are they using?
Like glow-in-the-dark paint. They've got glow-in-the-dark paint. It's like
would be cool,
the
dude.
1970s.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Maybe it would do black light. Like black at the head shops in the 70s, black
Make
light.
it all glow.
Remember they used to have that black light room that you could go into, and they had all the posters in black light, and the place always smelled like sandalwood incense. Why was that, Joe? Why was that?
To
back
cover
in
up
those
other
days?
odors.
Anyway, so I was talking about that with Pica's best mayor, Jess Alec, and then my phone. My phone started to beep. It's my WhatsApp. And it was the WhatsApp from Crystal Paco San Augustine says, which medians I'll have addressed.
God, thank you for listening, Crystal.
Baby, you're taking
Appreciate you.
That's a big bite. That is a big bite. If I wanted to, I could go online and ask our listeners to send a picture of a median where they are that needs attention. 797-8255. Maybe there's one right in front of your office.
It's the Merry Median Challenge.
Exactly. Swing and let me know where they are, and I'll send them to Crystal Paco San Augustine, and she can send those to DPW, and maybe they can go out there and put some fire on this. In the very least, it'll be that much more festive if we get the things bright painted. But it was nice, and my buddy Jim is listening, going, "See, I told you." And I'm like, what? He says, see, you start talking about something, and all of a sudden you've got the attention of the governor's office. You talk about an issue in Tumon, the governor's office responds right away. Could you please complain about GWA not picking up recycling now for 3 cycles? Supposed to be the first and third Friday. My bin is full. I don't want to mix in recycling stuff with household trash, but I may be forced to. I understand that they're not fully equipped, but geez. There you go. I don't know to what degree anybody's going to jump in, because they're quasi-independent. They got the Guam Solid Waste Authority is kind of under its own power. I don't know that that's something that the governor's office would likely get involved in. But you might want to. How do I want to say this? Oh, this is the way. I stopped caring about what goes into the. I know I should, right?
Yeah, you should, man.
I should be
But
concerned.
you're numb.
I should be questioning everything that I throw away. Hold this in my hand and going, is this recyclable? Is this something that we'll be able to get some kind of use for? And I'm going to put it in the recycle thing. I stopped caring. I've got a bag I've got a white bought at Home Depot trash can in the house, and I just, whatever I have, I throw it in there. And then I put it into the regular bin outside, and I leave that out every Wednesday when I remember. And that's how I deal with my solid waste over at the house. I just, whatever I'm going to throw away, I just throw away. I don't even think about it. Now, I know that there's some people listening going, oh, my God, you cur. How dare you? I'll bet you're the kind of person that just walks away from your shopping cart when you're at Payless or costs you less. Yeah. I don't care about that either.
They hired people for that.
A finite number of things that I can possibly care about in my life, and neither one of those matters anymore. And why not? They're all going to go to the same place. You know, is it possible that somewhere out there in GSWA land there's a guy that's going to rip open my bag and take out all my Asahi Blue cans? And all of that stuff, and are they going to separate my bottles? Are they going to take the glass bottles and put it over here, and the plastic bottles and put it over there? And then what? My guess is it probably all ends up being separated and then put together in the cells at the dump anyway. So,
we need to see a video of them sorting it and showing us that it's actually going somewhere.
You know what
and
I
doing
want to see?
something.
I want to see him pick up a bottle of tea and go, "Hey, there's still some in here," and then drink it. I would totally stage that. I would totally
still
stage
good.
that. Yeah. No, it's still good. Don't throw that away. I can get use out of that. And so it's just one of those things. I hate to be that guy, but I kind of aged myself into that area where I just got so many brain revolutions that I'm going to be making, and I just don't have to worry about that. So Jim, I don't think you ought to worry about it either. 8:21 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. What shall we worry about? I keep reaching for this again. This is the thing GPA put out there yesterday about the Guam 100, which will set a, quote, clear path to achieving 50% electricity purchases from renewable energy by 2030, which is, five and a half years away from now, 6 years from where we are today?
In no time.
In 6 years, we will have 50% renewable energy and 100% renewable energy by 2040. But will provide the tools to ensure energy system resilience against extreme weather events, improve energy justice. What the hell does that mean? What are we taking the page out of who wrote this, Josh?
Yes.
It will provide improved energy justice and guide GPA in its investments in modern, intelligent, and affordable grid infrastructure for the people of Guam. Modern, intelligent, and affordable. You know what? We need to add another one. Modern, intelligent, affordable, and reliable. Reliable. There are numerous cases. I want to say in Germany there's one where they just drank all of the Kool-Aid out of the climate cult. And then found themselves in a position where they were worried about generation because they weren't getting all of the electricity that they needed out of the renewable sources. So these guys started recommissioning old plants that they shut down. And they're not the only ones that are doing it. So I'm going, maybe we can, and maybe 2040, maybe it's one of those things. What we'll do is we'll say in 2023, that we will be 100% renewable by 2040. But everybody that we said that to in 2023 will be dead. There won't be anybody left to remember what we said. And you can just keep pushing that down the road. And just, as a generation of people die off, a new generation of people that can be suckered into buying this renewable energy stuff will come into play.
Well, you don't want to live forever?
Huh?
You don't want to live forever?
It's not so much that I want to live forever as much as I want to come back as me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to the ribbon cutting.
I think there's a big difference. The transition to renewable energy is an opportunity for our island to secure more resilient electricity. There they go again. Ultimately, lower cost for customers. Again, in 2040, who's going to remember that they said they were going to lower costs for customers? Guam 100 will allow us to model and analyze different scenarios to achieve that goal and determine the ideal path for our islands at JB. As we continue our work after Typhoon Mawar, GPA is committed not just to rebuilding, but building back better. Modeled after the Los Angeles 100. Somebody check and see how they're doing with the Los Angeles 100 and the Puerto Rico 100. This effort will evaluate pathways to 100. There's some pretty words here. Soaring language. We'll evaluate pathways. to 100% renewable energy through an integrated analysis process that includes a responsive stakeholder engagement. Can you guys engage with my claim from April of this year on my busted aircon card? Data generation and gathering, renewable energy scenario development and evaluation, and impact modeling and analysis. Using the word analysis a whole lot. The overall goal is to identify affordable, technically sound, resilient, and equitable pathways to achieve 100% renewable power without compromising the integrity of the electric grid. They're certainly using a lot of buzzwords in here. Equitable and energy justice in the mix. This was written by somebody in the Youth Congress. You know what I mean? We got to have the equity. You know what equity usually means in situations like this?
Yeah.
They're going to charge me more to give so that we can have lower electricity for somebody that doesn't work as hard as I do. That's what and I'm not saying I'm the hardest working guy in the whole wide world, but I can meet the nut, and they figure, well, if you can meet the nut, maybe you're going to have to pitch in a little bit more for somebody wait, it's equity. Wasn't born with the same silver spoon in his mouth. You know, I can see that coming. There needs to be a little bit more of a discussion on this, and I don't know that anybody's got the stomach for it these days. 825, 888-8255, 888-TALK. Donna D has been looking at a couple of packages. I mentioned several times that my friend Anna Hahn had been out there doing some kind of traveling, and considering where she works, it's not surprising that she's gotten on a plane out there. And she was yesterday a little bit frustrated because she was trying to get in while I was still in the building. Had to go to Dr. Yang's yesterday. Oh, my God, I love it at Dr. Yang's. Can I just... That is... Before I finish up the thing with Don, I'm just in love with that place. They're just the nicest people in the world, between Maggie and Audrey in the front. And there's another guy there. There's Kuya Ray, but it's R-E-Y. And I said, that's okay. We're still brothers. And so he was the guy. He was the X-ray technician that was taking a look at my ugly teeth, and he was awesome because he wasn't lectury or anything like that. And while I'm going through the thing, we're laughing and joking in our little cubicle. There was another lady. I swear to God, they must have given her happy air because she was laughing up a storm. I mean, everything that the Yang was saying to her was hilarious. It was just terrific. But anyway, so I had to go do that yesterday, and Anna stopped by and brought some snacks to the radio station. And Donna D has been looking at those snacks now for 2 hours. Going,
wait a minute. What snacks?
When can we open the snacks, Raymond? Is it time? It's time to open the snacks, Donna. Okay, so reach over and you do the unboxing.
Which one? This one?
I don't know what that one is. Are you showing that in front of the camera? Okay, good. Yeah. All right, so Donna's going to open that one. It looks like there's chocolate.
Cookie.
What's it?
I don't know what that means.
Stinky feet.
I think they made up the word.
Possible. Right? Possible. There's like one of my favorite Japanese snacks is the garlic chips, garlic shoestring potatoes and garlic chips.
Yeah.
That's actually pronounced kawamucho. Kawamucho. The kawa is spicy, and the mucho obviously a lot of spicy. But it's Japanese. So you're going, wait a second, they have mucho?
It's not that hot.
It's not that hot, but it's still really, really good. So this one must be the chocolate one. So there's some kind of a chocolatey chip device on it, and it's from bourbon, so you know it's good. What's the other one? That one there, I think, is more like rice crackers.
Yeah.
So it's got the umami on it. And then.
Oh, yeah.
She went, this is not just airport stuff. This is not cheap airport stuff.
Yeah.
She went someplace to get this, Anna. So thanks very much. It's chocolate mochi. Premium sweet chocolate mochi.
Oh, that's from their donkey.
Might
Not from their donkey.
Might be. I don't know. So anyway, Donna, I'm going to tell you what, because you got to do the news in a couple of minutes maybe. So I'm going to let you go ahead and crack into a couple of those things and get me the sound effects of some kind of crunching that's going on in the radio station. Who else is playing around? Huh? Joel Mangrobang is hanging out. So is Jefe Tiamo Grazi. That's JT, right? That's what you call him? Hey, rolling with Bronson. This morning. He's up on the line here. Harvey Eckner hanging around. Your median, your road department at work. Romeo Miranda is hanging out. Bill Petit, Elizabeth Mendiola Kitsitsu, Dave Duenas. Donna D says, put some Chevron lines there. Don't drive here. Bunker online. They are hot epoxy glued down. No, I get that, but it's not that they're coming up. It's just they lose their reflective characteristics after a while. Bill Fritton says the road markers disappear. It's the fault line. The fault line is making it do that. Johnny, a two-line. Let me see. Donna asking, did you notice the bike lanes that they have laid down? The chevron lines also separate the bike lanes from the car lanes. That's based on a comment that somebody was asking about. There's all this new rehabilitation on Chelan San Antonio, which I'm not going to throw shade on because I kind of like what's going on there. Although I don't know why they have this massive median. Did you see that, Real Joe? In between the New Parisville at the top of the hill.
Okay, yeah.
And the
New and Old Parisville.
New and Old Parisville.
Yeah.
The one that they're currently working on?
Yeah, it's
If
a
you know,
massive
you know.
median
Is that
there.
what it is?
Yeah, and I'm going, who needs that?
The buses?
I don't know. Was it going to just another place for the?
They're making it fat.
Oh, listen to that. That's
Oh
the
my
mommy
God, Donna.
stuff.
I know some more.
I'm never going to the movies with you.
So they've got this massive median that they're working on. I mean, they're laying out all this concrete and all of that, and I'm just trying to figure out who asked for that, who needed that. I mean, we've already got this. You know what I think it is? Okay, this is my conspiracy theory for the morning. They're putting that there so that they'll say we can't have a hospital here. We've already set things up for a median to help direct traffic around the circle and into Tumon, or direct traffic to Guam Memorial Hospital in its current location. Oh, my God. You know, if you want to build a hospital there, that means we'd have to rip the whole thing out, costing hundreds of millions of dollars. That's the conspiracy theorist in my head. 8:30 in the morning, but because we need a little bit of confidence here in the conversation, and I'll give it to you the same way that Pika's best Mayor Jess Alec did. All of our prayers will be answered in 2025. If you can just hold on a little bit longer with the rolling state of emergency at Guam Memorial Hospital, the rolling state of emergency in the school systems. 1,400.
Be resilient.
1,400, 14 days worth of no swimming pool in Agania. The ugly, dark medians on Guam. I mean, if you can just hold on for a little bit longer, all of our problems will be answered in 2025. I'm sure by executive orders, etc. Anyway, 8:31. Donna D with that last big look at news and headlines coming up in a second. Avadana. No, wait. And then celebrity birthdays and more on the way.
Great news, GovGuam employees. The FHP Health Center is now accepting all employees of GovGuam enrolled in the self-funded insurance health plan. Continuity of care is important. If you're currently seeing an FHP medical, dental, vision, or home health and hospice provider, you can stay with FHP. If you are a GovGuam employee and want to see an FHP provider, you are welcome. Call 671-646-5825 to schedule an appointment. FHP Health Center, our island, your clinic.
The secret to finding joy this season is sharing my delicious KFC chicken with everyone. Introducing KFC's new holiday bundle of joy. That's a bucket of my KFC chicken, 2 large sides, 8 pieces of my new chicken nuggets, and 4 biscuits. Every bundle of joy comes with a free KFC umbrella, and KFC will donate $1 to the Guam Harvest House. It's the season of sharing with KFC's holiday bundle of joy. It's finger-licking good.
.32 Ray Gibson Show. One of the other stories that I might get around to talking about after I got to read the thing. There's this, I thought Donna was talking about it earlier, and that Guro wants to buy San Vicente School out in the Barragata area. Oh.
Shut down, man.
Yeah. But didn't they want to put together a plan not that long ago to make it a public school?
They did? I didn't hear about that.
It was with Frank Blas Jr.
I
I know
remember
those
him
guys.
saying
Maybe they'll put a
something.
hospital there.
No. No, I don't know that it's big enough for a hospital. I wonder, though, how the residents of these around San Vicente area, that area of Cañada Totu, I wonder how they feel about.
Yeah, isn't it like right in the middle of the village? There's houses right next to it.
Yes,
You know,
there are
like
houses very, very adjacent to that area. There's some cruises and blasses and
only
things
been
like
there
that. And I'm
once.
wondering if they got asked whether they want a community center, right there, disrupting the peace of the neighborhood. 8:33 in the morning. Donna D with that last big look at news and headlines for a Thursday morning. How about Donna? What happened?
Jaron Wallaby, one of the brothers accused in the murder of Arno Naroon, was supposed to admit guilt in court yesterday as part of a plea agreement, but instead denied any involvement in the killing. Defense attorney Joseph Rosano was surprised, saying he doesn't know what Wallaby is going to do. He'll be back in court on Monday to find out if the plea deal is still on. His brother, Brancy Wallaby, will also be back in court Monday for the start of his trial. And a scam alert claiming to be a local telecoms company is circulating. IT&E has discovered that an unknown third party is posing as the company and sending fraudulent offers to subscribers about taking an online survey for a cash prize. IT&E confirmed this message and survey were not sent or approved by the company, and there is no existing giveaway. Avoid clicking on any links and avoid providing personal information. And the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, based in New York City, recently awarded UOG with a $900,000 grant to support the creation of a Chamorro Studies Center and other projects to revitalize the Chamorro language and culture. UOG will also use the grant to support pathways for students attending GCC and Northern Marianas College who seek to transfer their course credits towards a BA in Chamorro Studies at UOG. And that was your last look at local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
Oh, that's nice. I'm glad they got that. I'm going to help them out as much as I can. All the different ways. When I was a kid, it was always easiest for me to learn Chamorro by using the most picadoo words there were.
Like what?
Can't say them on the radio. Just any of the words that I can't say on the radio. What a great pathway. Do you like that? How I use that word, pathway?
Yes.
To language.
It's a language justice.
That just makes it equitable for everybody, I think, Real Joe. Anyway, 8:35 in the morning. Celebrity birthdays. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
A couple from the world of music. Tom Waits is 74 years old today.
So old.
Ellen Bernstein is 91 years old.
So older.
NBA legend Larry Bird.
No, how old is he?
67 years old.
Big Bird.
Yeah, but he looked old when he was playing basketball.
He
I mean,
did.
He did. That's why I was expecting him to be 80.
Yeah, and I'm
He's
sitting
one of
around
the
doing
greatest
this.
trash talkers of the game.
Yes,
he was.
Yeah. And here he is, like 6 years older than me, and I'm going, well, all right, good job, to the degree that it was. C. Thomas Howell.
Ow.
Soul Man. He was in a movie called Soul Man back in the 80s.
Dude, they couldn't do that movie today.
I don't think so.
Right?
They redid a movie that he was in, Red Dawn.
Oh, that's right. He was in Red Dawn.
He was in Red Dawn.
Wasn't he in The Outsiders too?
I think he was. I think he was. I can feel the soul of the deer. When they made him, they made him eat the deer, the heart of the deer in that movie.
Sounds disgusting.
We all kind of threw up a little bit in our mouth at the time. Other musicians got birthdays today. Well, I don't know if she's a singer. It's SZA. So, we pronounce her name SZA.
Oh, Ja.
What?
Ja.
It's not SZA?
I think it's Ja.
I'm going to kill my nephew.
Don't do that.
What is it?
No,
I don't even know that.
I see it. I don't know. I thought it was pronounced SZA. SZA is 34 years old, almost too old to be popular. And Lord, that's Lord with an E, turns 27 years old.
My favorite.
Yep,
So
yep.
young.
If you're looking for something to celebrate today, it's letter writing day. If you can, we talked about this on a different letter writing day a couple of weeks ago about how it is the next, because nobody does it anymore. But if you have an opportunity, a thank you card.
Oh, that's so old school.
Yes, with your handwritten message on the inside of it goes so much further these days because the context of it is that nobody does it anymore. To receive a handwritten letter.
Brush lettering.
Do I have the patience for that?
You don't.
No. No. Can I do it on my iPad? Is that something I can do on?
You could probably do it on your iPad.
You gotta download software or something like that. And it's also Cotton Candy Day.
Oh gosh.
Who almost became governor with cotton candy?
Who was that?
Is that Mike?
Congressman Mike Nicholas.
Congressman Mike Nicholas. I mean, that was the one thing that differentiated him.
Yeah.
Is it? Well, you sent me a thing that
I
he'd
miss
written.
him. He's been busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's pondering the future.
Oh, I never know where he is.
Oh,
okay. At any
because it seems like he's living somewhere else that's not Guam.
I think that is lots of people that are living somewhere else that's not Guam.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I didn't.
Feels
I
like
thought he was still here.
It feels like more and more there are a lot of people for a lot of different reasons that have decided that they're going to be maybe not completely moved. Because I'm getting a sense like there's this as well, that there are people that live here a few months of the year or split their time and then go back to the States for other time, maybe hospital time or kids in college time or whatever. So they
I thought
maintain.
they come here like for vacation time and then they work in the States.
I think I get the sense that there's like I can work anywhere, so I can choose to work here on Guam, or I can choose to work in the States, and every once in a while I'll just kind of mix up the two so that nobody really knows from 1 minute to the next where I am. 8:39 in the morning. Donna D is going to try to determine which of the snackies that she's going to be taking home with her for her and the kid. And the mochi is the only caveat on the mochi is I've always think that you got to be careful with
powder on it.
Well, the mochi, it seems to me, is one of those things in Japan that is responsible for killing more people than anything else because they kind of stuff it in their face.
Oh, yeah. It's
Taste
dangerous.
it to find out. An exciting taste. Why not try it once?
Yes, very small bite here. Trust me, it'll be as good as or better than Royce chocolate. In 20 minutes, it's 9 o'clock. I'll be right back.
Attention business owners. Upgrade your connectivity with Docomo Pacific's new business mobile plans. Whether you're upgrading your phone or bringing your own device, you can save big. Up to $20 a month. Enjoy unlimited talk and text locally and to the U.S. plus data roaming to the U.S., Japan, Korea, and the Philippines. Experience the power of seamless communication. Visit business.docomopacific.com today for more details. Some conditions apply.
Half a day, Okudu's High School Ambassador Club will be hosting a holiday bazaar on December 9th at Okudu High from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. with an entrance fee of $1. Bring your joy, holiday spirit, and money to support Guam's local food trucks, craft vendors, and chances to win our holiday raffle. We are also looking for additional vendors, so if you would like to make some extra Christmas cash, send us an email at okhsambassadors@gmail.com. Jump into the holiday spirit at the Ambassador Club's Holiday Bazaar located at Okudo High School from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. December 9th.
Well, I was just taking a swig of coffee to wash down some of the Japanese snacky goodness that we got from Anna. Thank you so much. Among my favorite Palawan princesses. It's 8:41 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. Portions are brought to you by the guys over at, well, it's not guys, it's Katie. But Katie and the dogs over at the Bougie Boonie. .com of the World Wide Web. If you've got a four-legged, furry friend, forever friend that you want to take care of and just show some serious love at Christmas time, then go in for a salon appointment there and get the doggy treated like you would. I don't know if they'll did your nails, but they'll definitely did the hair. The Christmas countdown, 18 shopping days until Christmas. If you want to get a hold of Katie at the Bougie Boonie, as many people have, 797-4163. Jingle bells, Batman spells, Robin laid an egg. Hi.
Classic.
Well, I'm from the 60s, as I said. Land of tidy whities when I was growing up, and the occasional boxer short.
My grandpa wore those everywhere, dude. Even to the store.
And then,
and the hole just opens up in front, man.
Oh, yeah. What's that for, Granddaddy? That's where the cockroaches are, baby. Don't want to go there, boy. 8:42 on the Ray Gibson Show. God, I loved Christmas growing up when I was a kid. That was so great. Some awesome memories. My grandmother and my grandfather and Uncle Jim, and they'd get on the airplane and go on these buying trips to Japan, buy stores and stuff for goodies fit at Mariana Sales, and they'd always come home with all kinds of samples and other stuff that they were able to buy there for me and big sister Shelly when we were growing up. Just a terrific time and so many awesome memories. A little bit of a memory. Sorry, be so personal. Oh, no, never mind. I'm not sorry. It's the Ray Gibson Show, after all. I was leaving the parking lot last night over at the, you know how you got to go if you're at CPK or the, what's his name, the Valentino's. You need to go. I'm sorry, Vitali's. You need to go. You can park your car, but you've got to go out through the Doucet parking lot. And I was exiting, and as I was going through one of the loops, there was an unmistakable smell that wafted into the car, and it was the smell of a cigar, but not any ordinary kind of cigar. And I can't remember what the name of it was, but my Uncle Jim used to, for many years, smoke cigars, and it smelled exactly like the tabaquera, I think was the name of it.
Brought it all back for you?
Oh, immediately. You know, I mean, smells will do that. Smells will do that. I mean, you run into a certain smell, and all of a sudden, not just I have a memory of this, an inclination, but you go right back to who you were back in those days. And it took me a second to shake it. 8:44, and I was fine until I saw the median across the police station, and that's when I snapped me back into reality. But here's another one, a reality for you, because I'm looking at the clock. I'm not sure if I've got enough time to spin anything crazy up. A study found that roughly $1 trillion worth of food goes to waste each year. Do you know why $1 trillion worth of food goes to waste every year?
Born on dates?
Born on dates.
Oh, man.
Born on dates.
I pass them a little bit. I like to risk my life sometimes. So I'll pass a little bit.
So what about
couple days?
What about like born on dates with beer? How long?
That's hard though.
Yeah. I saw a couple of cans the other day.
Special.
I was looking at a couple of cans, and I was about ready to open them one up, and I saw a Born On that was back in 1921. 2000.
It's vintage.
2021.
Let it breathe,
I wasn't
Let
sure
it
about
breathe.
it, so I gave it to somebody. I said, you drink it. 8:45 in the morning. Who's on the phone?
It's Troy Torres from Candid.
That my cousin, Troy?
Yeah, he wants to tell you December 8th stories.
Oh, go ahead. Regale me with your favorite December 8th memory.
Oh, I don't have a December 8th story.
I made that up, man. Sorry.
Just that I'm going.
Wait a second. How can you not have a December 8th memory? Did your grandparents not drag you to the procession every year?
I mean, well, I do have a December 8th memory, but it's not pleasant. Like 30 years ago today was when I was first raped by my Catholic school teacher.
You're right. That's not filling me with the spirit of the holiday.
Yeah, that's not a pleasant December 8th. Oh, sorry, not 30 years ago today. 30 years ago tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah,
well, that's it. Well, as Donna says, that sucks. But it's a terrible road to have gone down. But you have done well with yourself, son, considering that.
Well, I mean, wildly, like, I'm a devout Catholic now, and December 8th means way more than that. It's an opportunity to ask the Blessed Mother, who is we cannot love Jesus Christ more than Mary loved God. You know what I mean? And so it's an opportunity for us to ask her to pray for us and ask her to make us more like her in her devotion to God, so that we can live lives of joy and love.
I will repeat something I said earlier in reference to somebody that was going through a hard patch with somebody and wanted my advice. What should I do about this? And I said, forgiveness is a gift that you give yourself.
Yeah.
And maybe your return to the church is part of that forgiveness, the healing, the catharsis, and all of those big technical words that people like to use. But I hope that this becomes, tomorrow and the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, etc., become another anchor in your faith.
So it's now called the Solemnity of the Immaculate Conception, and it's like the highest order of a day. And it's a holy day of obligation. And if you're in Jigo or the surrounding areas that are not as important as Jigo, you can come to Mass at 6 a.m., 8 a.m., or 10 a.m. at Our Lady of Lourdes.
Well, everybody's going to want to know where you are at.
I'm going to be at 6 a.m. Mass tomorrow. And then I'll be at the procession.
I was going to say, you need a wake-up call? You want Joey to wake you up?
I'll wake him up.
No, I'm good. I'm good. 4:05 every morning.
It's 8:48 in the morning, and an interesting conversation so far with my cousin Troy from Candid News. And I'm looking to see if there's a couple of interesting updates to stories and stuff that we talked about a little bit yesterday, or I know that you have had in your mind. I've got a couple of headlines here. Yesterday they were touting the idea that the NMI and the Department of Corrections here on Guam have gotten together and said, hey, maybe we'll take some of your prisoners from Guam and we'll put them up in our prison in the NMI. And I was looking at a couple of stories that look like they might be walking that back. Mariana's Variety says, this is still in its early stages. Still in the very early stages. There was the beginning of a headline that I can now not find the story on, so I screen capped the note here, and the screen cap reads, hold on a second, my camera thing is showing me a picture of myself. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Transfer of Guam inmates won't happen unless NMI is okay with it. And this one here from the Saipan Tribune, you're getting a sense that maybe there was a little bit too much said at a meeting and a get-together that needs to get followed up on and thought about even more critically.
Well, I like the transparency of it, but I just don't know how much of a good idea it is to get criminal minds from Guam to criminal minds and so they can criminal mind it about all the trafficking that can happen between Guam and the CNMI. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't sound like a very bright idea.
It sounds like a summit. It sounds like it would make the perfect kind of summit from it's like a thug boot camp or something like that, or criminal master class where really we got guys from Guam coming in. We'll find out what they know about getting crystal methamphetamines in the prison, or how we might be able to set up our own new kind of CNMI Guam underworld, right?
They might be able to start up like a master's class, like how to get the meth from China into the CNMI and then transport it on a boat from Rhoda to Guam.
You mean with these Chinese boaters, the recreational boaters that we are picking up in the shores?
I mean, it's not. There are all these reports from the U.S. Justice Department about the infiltration of criminals from mainland China and the trafficking of meth from mainland China into the CNMI, and it's a whole different sort of drug trafficking organization that happens here. For us, it's in the mail, it's at the seaport, and it comes in from the mainland United States, and its origins are in Mexico, but in the CNMI, it's different. The origins are in China.
Unbelievable. I'd hate for them to make a permanent connection between the points of origin on in the U.S. mainland, that side of the Pacific, and then the one on this side of the Pacific and Asia. 8:51 in the morning, and I just don't know what there is to do about it. I will forever be baffled at the idea that there are people that have, over the course now of the last 2.5 decades, seen the scourge of crystal methamphetamine in this town, yet will smoke it, that will take up a new habit and learn to smoke crystal methamphetamine, get hooked on it, and then the reckoning of the families that occurs afterwards, with people fully aware of what the consequences can be to the addiction of crystal methamphetamine.
I don't think people are fully aware, though, what the consequences are. I think that's part of the problem.
How?
That people are not fully aware.
But how is that possible?
They see these zombie-looking people, and they think, like, okay, I'm not going to get that bad. That's not going to be me. I'm just going to seek my escape here, and that's going to be it. But I don't think there's enough education about the addictive traits of crystal meth, how strong it is, what it does to your mind, what it does to your heart, all that stuff.
I suppose, are there parallels with other addictions, alcoholism being one of them? Is you sit down at the bar and go, I'm in control. I'm just going to have one and then leave, or I'm going to have two and then leave, and then all of a sudden you realize you've been there for 7 or 8 hours, and then you whip out the credit card and it's still not enough?
Same thing. There's an escape that you want, and you think you can control it, and then before you know it, you've been drinking 1, then 2, then 3 vodka tonics every night for the past 4 months. And if you don't have that vodka tonic at night, you're not going to be able to go to sleep, and so you just have it again.
But all the time thinking that you are still in control of all this.
All the time thinking, and not realizing you're an alcoholic.
8:52. Tough time to be talking about unhooking off of alcohol because of the holidays and the nature of the holidays and the pressure on the holidays and all of that. Good luck, everybody, and Godspeed as we make our way through the Christmas and New Year's holidays and all of the social activities that are going to be taking place. Lubricate yourself, but as the man says, make sure that you've got a designated driver, somebody to take care of you on the way out of it. And then I suppose that's the other thing that I know is still on your mind. I still haven't gotten my hands on any of the paperwork with regard to the investigations into a police officer. My understanding is there might be more of that that has been released and out that is available that continues to paint a damning picture of a police officer who was in cahoots with the criminals and the dealers here.
Well, here's the interesting thing about the warrant. That story is based on warrant that was released, and it was from 2020 or 2021. I think it was a warrant from 2021. That might have been 2020. There are no other documents that have been unsealed that relate to that police officer. And so when you look at that warrant, it was, there were these two criminals who provided information to HSI, and that information was that this cop, Brian Alma, was a drug dealer. And it was based on what they said. And so they got his phone records, and they have conversations text conversations between Brian Alma and one of them, I think his name is Brian Chan, or no, it could have been the other one, Jovan Bradbury. And the conversations, I mean, maybe you can say they're talking about drugs, but it's not quite clear. And then there are two more returns of search warrants in the federal court system's archive that show that meth was mailed in the name of Brian Alma twice. But then there's nothing that follows that. There's no arrest warrant. There's no against Brian Alma that we can see. And so I'm wondering if there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye. And, was Brian Alma under investigation, and then the Fed said, well, I guess there's nothing that we can find on this guy, or is there something bigger than this? And so that's what we're trying to figure that out.
What shoes do you need to drop? I'm using GovGuam and GPA verbiage today. What pathways do you need opened to be able to see behind the curtain a little bit more?
Well, the first thing I want to do is try to get a hold of Brian Alma, ask him who his attorney is, if he has one. If he has an attorney, talk to the attorney and ask the attorney, hey, has Brian Alma been charged in federal court? And if the answer is no, that tells you a lot about this case. And if the answer is yes,
usually means there's more.
Yeah, yeah.
It didn't stop. It didn't stop there, and still no comment of any kind from the police department.
It was a statement yesterday, and I think they erroneously said that there's an open federal investigation, because when I followed up and I asked, how do you know that there's an open criminal investigation from the feds? Is this something that they told you? And they said, no, it's just based on the warrant, but the warrant doesn't say anything about there being an open investigation.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why the police department put that, but they said that they're doing an administrative investigation into Brian, and that he has not been active in the police department since 2017. He's been on leave that entire time. There's something about this.
How can you be? Wait. Has not been active since 2017, but on leave?
Yeah. You can rack up that much leave, or people can share their leave with you, such that you can be on leave this entire time. You might not be getting paid, but you're still an employee of the department.
Well,
but
6.5 years.
Something fishy about the timeline. 2017 is when he stopped being an active police officer. 2017 is around the same time as the Mandania Drug Task Force, when they were in their heyday and doing all that crap that we now see in federal search warrants, like that there was a bunch of corruption going on with that. My understanding from sources within the police department is that Brian Alma was not with the in crowd. He was not one of the Ray Tenorio boys or the Manzanonia boys, or basically he was not in with the Mandania group. And so there's just something about this case that's very fishy to me. And I'm just wondering whether, and I know this sounds a little, sounds kind of weird and premature to say, but I'm kind of wondering if Brian Alma is a victim of something here.
Well, if there's anybody that can find out and maybe punch through personally, it might end up being you. 8:58 and change. I was waiting for that name to come up. One of the names that you had mentioned just a second ago, to see if there was something about that might have led a connection between the police department and all the way up to Adloop in rather a more sinister fashion. But as with everything around here, we'll either have to wait and see, or wait until something else more distracting and more relevant comes up. Cousin Troy, always a delight talking with you, and we'll be hoping that you will continue your prayers for me and Real Joe and Donna D tomorrow morning.
Yes, but you guys better go to the procession. Be at the
Yes,
cathedral
Mom.
by
Wait. I'll be near the procession.
Just
There's
come.
caravels there.
Just come. You can walk with Barragata. They're toward the front. I'm all the way in the back.
Oh, you looked at the map already? Oh, God, that's funny.
We're gonna
Okay.
publish it.
Closing in on 9 o'clock in the morning. You have a fantastic rest of the day. Cousin Troy from CandidNews.com and the World Wide Web. Always a pleasure talking with you.
God bless you guys.
Oh, good luck. We 888-8255. Did I get it right that time? The website, yes, CandidNews.com on the World Wide Web. Let me see what's the most recent thing in the headline that I looked at this morning. Judges continue releasing defendants who go on to commit new crimes, make new victims. We talked about that with Attorney General Doug Moreland yesterday. Coming up in the next hour of the program, Dr. Wilson is going to be joining me. Wilson! No, different Wilson. This one, we've got this from Island Eye Clinic that made the arrangements, and what sounds like is going to be a more interesting topic talking about him than talking about your and my eye and vision health. That is on the way. Ray Gibson Show on the other side of Fox News right here. KUSG, I got you 93.3, 3 years. Peak is best. Be right back.
In Las Vegas. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Police say there is no further threat after a gunman opened fire on the campus of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Multiple people transported to the hospital.
Within about 30 minutes of those initial statements coming from the police department and from the university, we got word from the police that the suspect, as they put it, singular, had been located and, in their words, quote, is deceased. We do not know at this point if the suspect was killed in some sort of shootout with the police or any armed security that there may or may not have been on the campus. We do not know if the suspect killed him or herself.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt. Las Vegas is the site of the deadliest mass shooting in modern history in 2017 at Mandalay Bay Casino, where 60 people were killed and hundreds more injured. A Texas man is charged with capital murder after an hours-long shooting rampage yesterday. Shane James is accused of killing his parents in San Antonio. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says 4 other victims were discovered after police conducted a welfare check at a home in Austin.
They saw water coming out from under the door, and which obviously struck them as strange. They then got clearance from their supervisor to force entry to the residence under exigent circumstances, believing somebody may be injured inside the home.
3 others were injured in the shooting spree, including 2 police officers. Court records show James was previously charged in San Antonio with 3 misdemeanor counts of assaulting a member of his family or household. He's awaiting a hearing on those charges. An Air Force staff sergeant under arrest on charges related to the Capitol riot. Kyle Douglas McMahon of Texas faces multiple felony charges, including obstruction of law enforcement, as well as misdemeanor offenses. Wall Street, the Dow lost 70, the NASDAQ off 83. America is listening to Fox News.
GTA Pop-Up Prepaid is spreading the holiday cheer. The Holly Jolly giveaway is here, and we're giving away a total of $3,000 in Payless gift certificates. From November 24th to December 31st, sign up for any GTA Pop-Up Prepaid's unlimited plans, and you'll automatically be entered. 5 lucky weekly winners will receive a $100 Payless gift certificate. Plus, there's an even bigger present waiting. The grand prize, $1,000 worth of Payless gift certificates to make this holiday season extra special. So don't miss out on this chance for a Holly Jolly holiday with Pop-Up Prepaid. Conditions apply. GTA, we start with you.
Chances are you've got some questions right now. Well, here's a couple answers. Lysol disinfectant sprays and Lysol disinfecting wipes together can be used on over 100 surfaces and kills 99.9% of viruses and bacteria. It even kills the COVID-19 virus. These are simple facts backed up by science. Lysol is suitable to protect your kids and pets. USA's #1, now protecting your homes. Lysol, what it takes to protect. Shop today at your Guam Kmart store.
Wisconsin's Democratic governor vetoes a bill that would have outlawed gender-affirming care for children.
Democratic Governor Tony Evers, with his veto pen, striking down a bill pushed through Wisconsin's Republican-controlled legislature that would have banned minors in the state from receiving puberty blockers and sex change surgeries, a measure the governor says in part emboldens hate and violence and threatens the safety and dignity of LGBTQ Wisconsinites. Supporters of the bill say that while Evers' veto is not surprising, that it serves as a stark reminder of just how out of touch with reality the governor is, and that protecting children is the right thing to do. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
At least 22 states have enacted laws restricting or banning puberty blockers and sex change treatments for minors, but many of those laws still face court challenges. ADP released its latest hiring and wage reports.
Payroll processing company ADP is reporting softer hiring. Just 103,000 new jobs created last month. Leisure and hospitality hiring, which has been steadily increasing, declined by 7,000 jobs in the month. ADP chief economist Neela Richardson says there are signs the labor market has changed. Those remaining in jobs saw a 5.6% annual pay increase in November, though that's the slowest pace of gains since September of 2021. Pay growth for people staying in jobs was 8.3%. That's the smallest increase since June of 2021. Ginny Cosola, Fox News.
Google is taking another leap into the world of artificial intelligence, launching what they've dubbed Project Gemini, an AI model trained to behave in human-like ways. The company says the rollout will come in phases, with the most advanced version to be released early next year. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Christmas trees are going up at the Security Title Office in Tamuning, and with them comes the music and joy of the season. As we reflect on the ups and downs of 2023, one thing remains constant, and that is the deep gratitude we have for our customers and the meaningful work we do for our real estate community. Thank you for trusting us with your property. From our Security Title family to yours, we wish you a Christmas season filled with peace and joy.
Santa's coming and things are looking up. Bank Pacific has rolled out Rudolph's favorite My Christmas Loan with the annual percentage rate as low as 7.49% and up to $50,000. And with our Bank Pacific contactless Visa debit card, you have the flexibility of using your money when you want, where you want. My Christmas Loan, contactless Visa debit card. Let's make Christmas season merrier in 23. Equal opportunity lender, credit conditions apply. Merry Christmas from Bank Pacific.
Becoming a homeowner for the first time could be a little nerve-wracking, but it certainly doesn't have to be, especially if you have Lolita Kamet of Hoffaday Realty guiding you every step of the way. So have no fear. She also specializes in land sales, commercial leasing, local residential sales leasing, also military and corporate new relocation. So for all your real estate needs, take the first step in the right direction with Lolita Kamet of Hoffaday Realty by calling 671-688-6743. That's 671-688-6743.
6 after 9 o'clock in the morning, Ray Gibson Show. Work until 10, right? That's where we're going?
All the way.
Going to try to do the whole 4 hours. Again, same time tomorrow. Portions of the broadcast here made possible by the guys over at NissanGuam.com on the World Wide Web. You know, I always tout some of the great things that they've got going, and among them is the fact that they are a used car headquarters. And I know you're going, well, Ray, aren't you supposed to be selling a Frontier or a Versa or something like that? They got plenty of time to sell those things, but there's a lot of people that are looking for a second car in the house, and the used car market on Guam has never been hotter. In fact, they will take your used car in trade to help you buy another used car. They're that flexible around. They're flexible on the financing, flexible on trade-ins, zero down on your approved credit, and plenty more. And because it's the holidays, the Nissan Ninja is there, and you could see savings up to 40% off. You could save, according to this now, over $26,000. This is not going to be around for a long time. No, so you better go and get yourself lined up with a test drive. Check out the inventory. There's something for everybody at NissanGuam.com.
Real Talk Radio is back. Welcome to The Point, Guam's FM News Talk Superstation.
Just after 9 o'clock in the morning, and the day before the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, or what? I'm sorry, Cousin Troy used a new name for it, and I'm feeling like did I miss an umatuna or something that explained that I didn't get to again. The next thing you know, they're going to tell me they changed out the words again. So instead of saying and now with your spirit. It's always a tough time for me. 888-825-5888-TALK. Ray Gibson Show also being brought to you by the team over at American President Lines. They are delivering the future. As we like to do in this hour of the program, an opportunity to meet somebody new, and maybe not new to you. One of the voices you might hear from is a guy named Dr. Robert Jack. Am I getting that right?
That is correct.
Welcome to the studio. How come you've never been here before?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You know, I get all kinds of doctors in here from time to time. I don't think I've ever had an eye doctor in the studio. Tell me a little bit about Island Eye Institute.
Well, Island Eye Institute was started by Dr. McDarby, who was a Navy ophthalmologist, along with Dr. A.J. Smith, and back in about 1998.
Okay.
And it started at the doctor's clinic in Harmon.
I recall.
And then eventually they moved to the Baltedge building in Tamuning.
There was a lot of groundbreaking work that those guys did back in those days. I want to say that was the very first time that you didn't have to leave Guam to get LASIK.
With the LASIK, you're correct. The LASIK was started in 2013 by Dr. Charles Flowers.
I see.
And that was the first time, yes, LASIK came to Guam. Again, Dr. Flowers is a mentee of Dr. Roy Wilson,
who is the actual star of the show, and we'll talk with him in just a second. But I just wanted, so much has happened, and the technology of eye care, vision care, has changed out so much. And you know, obviously there's a lot going on in my head. I in June went for my physical for my 61st birthday in Manila, and Manila was also where I went to get my LASIK done before it was available on Guam. I went to go and have it done in the Philippines, and I was just absolutely amazed at the technology. Also a little bit concerned because when Dr. Jack Arroyo, who I'm sure you know, performed the surgery, it was on a Windows 95 machine that was controlling the laser, and it was not 1995 when this happened. So I was a little bit concerned, and apparently there are additional steps that they built into that operating system software and the laser software to make sure that it wasn't going to be susceptible to any issues like my old Windows 95 computers were, right?
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about the, well, I suppose maybe I'll ask your mentor, Dr. M. Roy Wilson in the studio, MD period, and an eye specialist as well, I assume?
I am, although I haven't done ophthalmology in a long time. I was chair of ophthalmology at Charles Drew University when this guy came through my program, as well as Charles Flowers, who started the LASIK here, as well as A.J. Smith, who is one of the founders of the Island Eye Institute. But I was by then, I think I was the dean of the medical school at the time.
You don't look old enough to have done any of that stuff.
I've been a lot of stuff, including president of 4 different institutions over the last 20 years.
Any big names my listeners might recognize?
Yeah, University of Colorado, Wayne State University, Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center, and I was also president of Charles Drew University of Medicine and Science, where these guys train.
Parents must be very, very proud of you with all of those accomplishments at a relatively young age.
I'm not that young.
Do we have the camera? I've got a camera on him, right? There's all evidence to the contrary. But you've held up very well in all of these years. There is an interesting biography that was sent to me. You're also an author.
Yes.
And what is it? The plum
tree blossoms even in winter.
There's a story behind that. Obviously, it's a book that I might want to put my fingertips to and do a little bit of reading. Oh, you brought one with you. The Plum Tree Blossoms Even in Winter. M. Roy Wilson writes the book. Autobiographical?
Yes, it's a memoir. Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the beginnings of it. What's
the significance of the title is that unlike many blossoming trees, like the cherry blossom, for example, that blossoms in the spring, usually May, June. The plum tree actually blossoms in the dead of winter, the hardest, dreariest, the coldest times of the year. And so the symbolism is that even when times are tough, when things are rough and it's dreary and it doesn't look good, that there's hope. And it's an actual story about my first memory with my mother, where we went to a cherry blossom festival. And after the festival, we went to a memento shop, and I saw a tree that I thought was a cherry tree. And I asked her to get it for me. It had an inscription on it. And when we went home, she read the inscription, and it was a plum tree blossoms even in winter. And I said, damn, I thought it was a cherry tree, not a plum tree. I didn't want a plum tree, but I kept it all my life. And then when my mother died, I actually put that little memento into her casket and decided to write the book.
The story about resilience, as you say, and being able to persevere even in the darkest times. And people might be looking at you, listening to you, and going, "But he's a doctor, and he's been the president of all these schools and all these colleges. What adversity could you have possibly faced in your life?"
Yeah, well, I grew up in Japan. My mother and father was not married at first. He was a Navy man, and then he's eventually transferred over to the Air Force. But like many people, and it's in the book, so I'm comfortable talking about this now. They had their vices. My mother was a compulsive gambler. She was never around. I raised myself and my sister, who's 5 years younger than me. My dad was always stationed overseas somewhere. I think he was probably in Guam.
Probably.
Quite a few of the times. And I never saw him. And so I basically raised myself and raised my sister.
One other piece of adversity could have been your background, biracial background in Japan.
Yes.
And to the degree that there are, I don't want to call it racism, but there are recognitions between the differences, if you will, between where you came from and where I came from. To what degree was that problematic for you growing up?
Well, I was born in 1953, and at that time there were a lot of biracial kids who were born and left stranded.
Amerasian, similar to what occurred in Vietnam.
A lot, and I have the numbers somewhere in my book, but it's a lot. So I do give it to my dad that he came back and found my mother and married her. I suspect that part of the reason my mother was never really that fond of the United States. She never really learned to read and write. She was very Japanese and loved all the customs and so forth. I think part of the reason why she consented to come to the United States, and we did that when I came to high school, basically. One time when, earlier on for just a year or two when I was in grade school, but mainly I came back in high school. I think the reason why she did that is because she thought that I would have greater opportunities in the United States rather than in Japan, where as you say, the Japanese, they're not just racist in terms of they're very pro-Japanese.
It's difficult to describe. It's a difficult thing to describe.
They don't like other Asians either. Or at least they feel that they're special, right? And so it's a very isolationist kind of a culture, I think, and she realized that there was going to be some problems with me
staying in Japan. But then, as a biracial, as a half caste, I'm a half caste. I think I know some of those challenges. Then going back to the United States, being mostly reared as a Japanese, but all of a sudden you're once again kind of a fish out of water.
Right. Well, what helped me is that I was an athlete, and I played basketball, football, ran track, and so forth. And so my friends were also athletes, and nobody messed with me. Okay, my sister was different. She's like I say, she's 4 or 5 years younger than me, and she had a totally different experience. And so it was so bad that, they were calling her things like nigger chink, in school and stuff like that. Her experience was so bad that she actually dropped out and left school in 8th grade. And my parents didn't know where she was. She ran away. And it wasn't until, quite a bit later that...
60s, 70s America?
This would have been in the late 60s.
Yeah,
right.
Well, there was a runaway culture at that time.
Well, she ran away with a guy who was older than her, and moved to Oregon. At the time we were in Maryland, way on the other side.
Oh wow!
So she ran away and went way on the other side of the country. So she had a very different experience. My experience, as I said, was totally different. I was an athlete. People didn't mess with me. People didn't, my friends were, made sure that, I was protected. And, I had a good experience. It was just different.
How did you get into the medical game, though? I mean, you're old enough for service at some point. Did you join the military? Did you have a chance to serve anywhere?
I was right at that cutoff age where the draft had just ended when I was eligible for the draft. So I went to college, basically play basketball. I really wasn't thinking about going to medical
Not bad.
school, at all. And I got really turned on to Freud and Carl Jung and other psychoanalysts. And I thought, I want to be a psychoanalyst. And that's what I thought I was going to do. And then somehow during the process in medical school, I decided that I didn't want to be a psychoanalyst, and I turned to eye surgery. But when I went to college, I had no idea that I was going to become a physician. I really just went there to play basketball.
Got to do something between practice and the games. Did you get any? I'm looking for the word here. Accolades? Would anybody remember your name from any of your college basketball?
Yeah, probably. I went to Allegheny College, which is a small school. It's Division III, and they recently gave me an honorary degree, so I went back. That's 4 or 5 years ago, and people still remembered me from back in the day. So I think they still remember.
Despite any of the trouble that you had in the beginning, how much of that managed to follow you into your educational years? Were there still places where you found you were still not necessarily accepted, that there were challenges that you could not overcome despite your physical prowess and your abilities on the court?
Academically, no. I mean,
well, I didn't want to hear that. I'm sorry. I'm one of those guys. I'm no good in school. I'm no good in classroom scenarios.
No, I mean, listen,
so I want to hear about somebody that had the same kind of problems I did.
I studied hard. I just didn't do anything but study. When everybody else was having frat parties and things like that, I just didn't do any of that. I had a goal. Once I decided what I was going to do, I had a goal, and got into Harvard Medical School from Allegheny College, which is, not typical. I will say this.
What's the name of it? Harvard what?
Yeah, you probably heard of it. Yeah. I will say this, that my college experience was not that great. And I did have some issues with racism and stuff like that. There were only 30-some African Americans in the whole school, okay? School only had 1,900 people. It was smaller than my high school.
Yeah.
But only 30-some. Not in my class, in the whole school.
The entire school.
The entire school, yeah. And so there certainly were some racial issues. And I decided I was going to leave early. So I only applied to three schools. I applied to Harvard, Yale, and University of Maryland because that's where my parents were, Maryland. Maryland, I withdrew from because when I went for my interview, the person who interviewed me bred hunting dogs, and he compared me to his hunting dogs and talked about, my breeding. So I said, that's probably not the place where I want to go.
I don't know that we covered that in the beginning of the conversation. Not the most comfortable thing for me to bring up, and most of the time I tend to think I'm rather colorblind as well. Your mother's Japanese, your father's African American.
That's correct.
Okay, right. And for those of you that are just tuning in, wondering, all right, what problems, what issues might have you fallen upon? You got to remember, back in the 60s and the 70s, when you were going to school at the time, there were still a number of barriers that might have prevented people, for whatever reason, people with that mixed kind of background from being openly accepted.
Yeah, and again, in the early 1970s, which is when I graduated from high school, there were no Japanese in the Washington, D.C. area. There was one Japanese restaurant that was called Sakura, and it was way on the other side of town.
Of course, it was called Sakura.
Yeah, so so it is very different from now. So there were some issues in undergrad school, and so I applied to those three schools. I dropped out of University of Maryland. I withdrew, I should say, from University of Maryland. I didn't get into Yale, And but remember, this is a year early than I'm supposed to be applying. And Harvard wrote me a very interesting letter. They said, you know, you're applying a year early, and we think you should finish your undergraduate degree first. So we'll hold a place for you and apply next year.
Very encouraging.
Yeah, and so I knew that I was already in med school when I was in my third year of college, and after that, I just really didn't take any more sciences or anything. I just took what I wanted to take and just had a great old time.
Dr. Roy Wilson in the studio, M. Roy Wilson, and I'm trying to compare and contrast where we are in 2023 versus where we would have been in 1973, and the nature of enrollment into these schools and the challenges that you faced, but you were able to get in on your own merit. Has that changed significantly in some of the name brand schools that you're talking about? Is there now more privilege extended to members of minority groups than should be, more we'll refer to it as wokeism, but a certain kind of privilege. But is there more of that now, and people being more commonly accepted because of their color and their background than the merit to get them into the schools?
I don't think so. I'll give you a statistic which is 2 or 3 years old, but right before the pandemic, there were more black males in medical school when I was in medical school than there was 3 or 4 years ago in medical school at that time.
Well, any reason why? Have you come to a conclusion on why that would be the case?
We don't know. I mean, there's a lot of speculation, obviously. The women are doing better. Black women are doing better. But it's black males, and it's really almost a national travesty. So I actually started to look at that and was wanting to address it, and had gotten the NCAA together with the NIH, National Institutes of Health, and the Association of American Medical Colleges, and the three of them. I had leadership positions in all three institutions, and so I had designed a program to really target African American males to get them interested in going into medical school. And unfortunately, before we can get things going, the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And,
derailed a lot of plans.
Yeah.
But indicative of continuing problems in the African American community among the men, and the lack of two-parent houses, adequate education backgrounds.
There's not enough African American men going to college and majoring in the sciences. I mean, that's really the bottom line.
What is preventing that? I mean, I that would have been one of the questions that you were trying to answer. But what do you suppose is preventing that? What is happening in the communities? What's happening in the schools?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to like this answer, but I think
go ahead. It's a conversation,
and it is that there are systemic issues of racism and bias that African American men are subjected to. There's plenty of documentation of that. And it starts, not just when you're in high school, but it starts, very young. And there's a systematic kind of exclusion that starts to occur when an African American male is very young, and they're just, they're not selected for this or that. When they get a little bit older, there's certain biases about how dangerous they might be, and those kinds of things. And so the truth of the matter is that there really are a lot of barriers for African American males to really excel in the academic sphere. Like I said, women are doing better.
I was going to say, so what's different between the genders here is that, we talk about selection processes and then being able to follow the sciences around.
Yeah, I think that, part of what the difference is just this perception of this, aggressive African American male, right? Part of it is also just the distractions that do occur. So I mean, it's not all based on the system. There is some personal accountability that one has to look at, and certainly there are some distractions that do occur. One of which is, every African American male who can dribble a basketball thinks they're going to become a pro basketball player.
Next Michael Jordan, sure.
Yeah. And I mean, I thought that. Luckily, I realized early on that wasn't going to happen, and I better study. So, but I mean, there are a lot of these different distractions.
I'm reminded of a television show that was on Cinemax for a number of years. I thought it was a fascinating program, and it involved the black doctor in the first part of the last century who was educated in European hospitals and by more progressive doctors and educational institutions, and became a great doctor in his own right and had all kinds of great plans, finds himself in the United States of America and can't get a job serving white patients in the hospital. So I understand the nature of this long path, this long trail that folks have to go on, and the barricades that they've got to knock down, at least to the degree that television taught me that.
Right.
At any rate, so we move on to a little bit more of the what happens next. So you've got all of these things, you got piles and piles of degrees and become a doctor, and then it's the eye work. And I was talking about how things have changed over the years. When I was growing up, you had a problem with your eyes, you go buy a pair of glasses, or you go see an optometrist, and he'd cut you a set of glass, and that was all there was to it. And then all of a sudden, we came up with the idea of being able to use laser technology to be able to change the structure and the curvature of my eyeball. And now I can, at least for me, I want to say I'm 20/20 to the horizon with the treatment that I got. But I still have to wear reading glasses because I didn't get the other one. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, technology has changed. There's no question about that. And as I mentioned, I've been president of one or another institution for 20 years now, and so I really haven't been practicing ophthalmology. This past year in August, I stepped down as president of Wayne State after 10 years at Wayne State in Detroit. A large public institution of about 28,000 students, large medical school, one of the largest medical school in the country. So I stepped down to do a sabbatical for a year. And on my sabbatical, I'm at the University of Miami, the Bascom Palmer Eye Institute, and I'm relearning some ophthalmology, and specifically glaucoma. Glaucoma was my subspecialty. And I have to tell you, there's just a lot of things I haven't seen.
Fish out of water again.
Yeah, I feel like Rip Van Winkle or something, falling asleep for 20 years, and so I'm relearning things. I start seeing patients again next year. It's interesting. It's very
I get the feeling that's like asking Michelangelo to paint the kitchen or something like that. You're going to start seeing patients after having gone through the academic process, being in practice and then back into academia, to watch everybody else go through and play around with computers and lasers. And I'm sure there's other technology that I'm missing in the conversation. That's got to be kind of crazy for you.
I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Well, fun's a good way to underscore it. Yeah. Now, you are here on Guam just visiting with Robert here?
No, I'm here to ride in the Tour de Guam, the bike race on Sunday.
Hey, it's a bike guy. He's a bike guy. And out of respect for you, he won't beat you.
Oh, no, man.
You're not? Are you
That's
in
a crazy race. It's long. It goes all the way around the south, through the mountains, through the hills, and all the way around. Good luck. Ask him how many miles it is.
Well,
it's crazy.
It's got to be a grueling 50-plus miles on a bike, or more. I don't know. Is it?
That is correct.
Okay, my poison is running.
Right.
And so you guys, I can tell by the body frame that you're a cyclist. Are you going to be in it?
I will be in it. In fact, I was able to entice Dr. Wilson to come to Guam to race because he's an avid cyclist.
Mm-hmm.
When he was dean of the medical school in L.A., I knew he was a writer way back then. I just started writing during the pandemic just to do something.
Yeah, to keep yourself busy, right.
So
I started drinking a lot of beer and hanging out at the beach. That was how I handled the pandemic. I think we're all different in the way that we all recovered from.
I pretty much guarantee you that I will win my age group.
Delighted to hear that.
I'm the only one in my age group, 70.
So manumco classes, as they say. I don't know what it is in cycling and running. I think we're manumco. I'm a senior? Grandmaster. I'm Grandmaster
Yes.
on the running side.
Master.
Well, just grand something. I don't know, but it's all kind of interesting. And then you've got the avocations, things that we do when we're not wearing a lab coat, and that is riding around on a bike. Now, did he tell you how hot it is? Have you gotten any training yet?
I've trained a little bit. I trained a little bit in Miami, but Miami's flat. It's flat as a pancake, right? So we went a little riding yesterday, and the first hill that I did, I was like, gee whiz.
Kidding?
First time I'd done a hill in ages.
Yeah. What's the rule? I learned this. There's another cyclist in the other studio. His name is Albert Wan, and he is cycling and surfing royalty here on Guam. And he taught me when I was trying to get into biking for a little bit, and I said, I'm having a really hard time trying to figure out the timing on the shifting of the gears. And his advice, and it's actually a piece of advice that works pretty much everywhere in your life, is shift before you think you need to shift, and get the bike in another gear while it's still easy and while you're still turning and while you still got momentum, and that might help you up the hill. And maybe there's a book title that needs to be written with that: shift before you absolutely need to shift. I forget the course. Is this the? Does this go northward as well, or is it? Do we start central and then we work our way until we get to Jeff's Pirates Cove, and then a little bit more of Route 4
around up to Jotnya, and then it goes all the way around the back end of the island.
Yeah. Have you? Let me just, Doc. Have you had a chance to drive the route? Have you done that yet?
No, we were thinking about doing it at some point before Sunday.
Right after this, we'll probably.
We may do that.
Sunday, when the race is, and you're going to try to drive the course between now and then. I don't know that I would run the course between now and then, but there's certainly some hills that I think you need to get some serious practice time on.
Yeah, I think so.
How long you been doing this? The cycling part?
Oh, I've been doing cycling for, I don't know, 40 years maybe.
Got any records?
I used to be pretty good. I'm 70 years old now, so not going.
I know a
for
bunch of
records
70-year-old runners that say, "No, that's still not old. That's still not old. You still got plenty of miles under you."
I can still do 100 miles in under 5 hours.
Wow. I'm trying to think of how long I did. I think I did marathon length. I was, but I'm going to blame the bike. I'm going to blame the bike because it was like the heavy. It was the cheapest bike they had over at Hornet when I was biking, and as a consequence, it weighed about half of my body weight, and I wasn't going to win any races in this. But I do recall having to go southbound Marine Corps Drive from about a Agana area and then into Agate, and had to go up that hill. And I was so happy that I didn't have to go up any other hills. The turnaround was over at the boat basin that they've got down in Agate. So I figured, okay, this is good. So I only got to eat that hill one more time as I make my way out, and then the rest of it was fast and flat all the way out to the rest of it. Being an athlete is kind of an interesting world that we get to live in.
Yeah, I do want to make sure that I say before we wrap up. I don't know how close we are to wrapping up, but
no, I go until I stop having fun.
Oh, okay,
it just got even more fun.
But I did just want to say that it's really a real pleasure for me to come down to Guam and see Robert Jack and AJ Smith, people who I was involved in their training. Be the kind of ophthalmologist they become, and doing such good for the community. It really makes me very proud, and I'm just so pleased that they invited me to come to Guam to see some of this, as well as get a little riding in.
I'm glad that they brought you by here. It's a fascinating individual, and I'm lucky because I get to work in a radio station and talk to fascinating individuals from time to time that I probably would not have had the chance to do at any other time and for any other reason. I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about vision and vision health because I think it's important. And you were talking about glaucoma. I don't know to what degree glaucoma is prevalent here on Guam, but my guess is that you probably see a whole lot more patients who have got issues and maladies with their eyes as a result of diabetes and those kinds of diseases.
That is correct. And diabetes actually can cause a type of glaucoma as well. So we do have quite a number of patients with diabetes who also.
Well, the scary thing is that can end up in blindness, and among everything else, all of the other complications that come with diabetes, I think for me, it would be the most disheartening to realize that pretty soon the lights are going to go out, and there's no amount of medication and there's no surgery to turn them back on.
Correct. And it's actually one of the leading causes of preventable blindness. So if you don't mind, as a public service announcement, I would encourage
good to have doctors in.
everybody, especially those who are diabetics, to have an eye exam at least annually. And the most important thing they can do for themselves is to make sure their blood sugar levels are under control. It's really
plenty of drugs you can take with that.
situation.
Lots of different lifestyle accommodations you can take for that to keep your A1Cs in line.
Yes,
and keep it so the doctors have. So it's not really an eye examination, but you know how it costs you less? They've got that little stand with all of the reading glasses on it, and then you kind of test it on, and then you figure out what your magnification is supposed to be. That's probably about as close as I get to an eye examination on an annual basis. For some people, it's going to the driver's license, DMV, and taking that little test that they've got there. There's more to it than that, is there not?
Correct. That is correct. Very important to have a dilated examination so we can take a look at the back of the eye, the retina itself, which is usually the place most affected by diabetes. See, the thing is, once the process of diabetes affecting the eye begins, then you're really just waiting for a train wreck to happen. The train has jumped the tracks, and all we're trying to do at that point is slow down so it doesn't.
The inevitable.
Correct.
I wouldn't underestimate what glaucoma can also do. It's one of the leading causes of blindness worldwide. And that is one disease, eye disease, that you do have to get an eye exam. I'll tell you a little story.
Oh, yeah.
I used to have a hot temper, okay? And when I was an ophthalmology resident in Boston, I went to a sub shop. I hate mayonnaise. And I told the guy, I said, give me a steak sub, no mayonnaise. He was flirting with some girl, and he put mayonnaise on my sub. Okay, so I looked at it, and I said, gave it back to him kindly, and I said, listen, I said, no mayonnaise. And then he, instead of making me another sandwich, he scrapes the mayonnaise off of one side of the
insult to injury.
Yeah, and so by this time, I'm pissed off. So I go around the corner, I pop him, okay? And then we get into a fight, okay? And the girl's crying and this and that, and he hits me, and I hit him. We got each other in a headlock and all this kind of stuff. And the owner came in and stopped us. But I had a eye injury enough so that I had to go down to the emergency room of the Mass Eye Neuroinfirmary, which is where I worked. It's Harvard's Department of Ophthalmology. And so I went there, and it turns out that they treated the immediate problem, but it turns out that I was diagnosed with glaucoma. I would never have known. I was 28 years old. I never would have known that I had glaucoma, and unless they dilated me and had looked at my eye, because I had an injury. So the injury was incidental. I'm glad that I had this.
Otherwise, it would have never caught it.
It never would have caught it until I became presbyopic, which is when you need reading glasses. And that would have been in my 40s. And I'd have been close to blind if I had not been caught early.
28 sounds kind of young for that disease. I'm thinking in my head, 28, glaucoma is old man disease.
It is very young. And during my residency, I was taught that it was a disease of, older people, and so it came as a shock to me. What Robert can tell you is that, a lot of my contributions in glaucoma has been understanding this whole situation in African Americans and in young people. And I've done some studies that definitively show now that African Americans or blacks get glaucoma at a much higher frequency than whites, and that it's worse, and that it happens particularly in younger ages.
That's exactly where my next question was going to be. So when you do the studies, what do you find about people with similar backgrounds?
Yeah, so that's what we found is, and so it's common knowledge now. The way I decided.
We used to joke about it in the 70s because there was a lot of conversation about one of the methods of relief for glaucoma patients was smoking marijuana. And we said, well, how do you get marijuana then?
In Jamaica, they actually had an eye drop that had the cannabis extract in there, and we're using it. Yeah, I don't think it worked very well. And if you're going to smoke it, you have to be high pretty much all the time. For it to
I
make
know
it-
guys.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sure, Doc, maybe you know a couple of guys as well. Getting back to a little bit about Guam, and as I said, we've got issues with diabetes around here, but we are also kind of a different kind of backgrounded folks here in different racial backgrounds, et cetera. Are there things that you find more prevalent in the Guamanians that you see, other Asians that you see in your practice that you wouldn't normally see in more of a homogenous stateside population?
I would suggest that diabetes is probably more prevalent
That's the one.
here than I'd seen it in the States when I was practicing there.
Cataracts.
We have cataracts here
Arcus.
as well. A lot of cataracts, and when I first moved to Guam, the cataracts we saw were pretty advanced. Now we still get them, but not as much because we have more eye care coverage. So people are getting cataract surgeries earlier than when I first came in 2007.
And I had not even thought about that.
Yeah.
The capabilities of people being able to buy and to insure themselves against that and have a policy that would help with the treatment.
Well, it was also just the availability of care, because at some points back in 2007, I was the only ophthalmologist on Guam for civilians. There was a Navy ophthalmologist who saw just military people and their families, and then there was SDA Clinic, which was like a mission service.
Right.
And the only other place was Island Eye Center, and during some periods, I was the only ophthalmologist on Guam for weeks at a time.
Right.
So people didn't have really access to care if even they could afford it, and so I saw a lot more advanced cataracts then. But now we've got several eye clinics and.
I'd mentioned something, and maybe I said it wrong because he didn't respond to it, but it was something I was told was referred to as an Arcus, and I think I've got it, and I'm at the appropriate age to have, I guess, this line of fat around the iris.
Arcus anilis.
Arcus, yes, okay, but somebody told me, and again, it's nice. You want this thing in your advanced years, or over 30 or 40 years old. If you get it earlier, that's a sign, indication that there could be other issues that your body as a whole is going through. Maybe again diabetes, but indicators perhaps of cholesterol, heart issues.
Heart, yeah.
So watch out for that. And if you don't know what it is, get an exam. Your insurance will cover the exam. Go and see these guys and help out. All right, now on the pure glamour side, as I said, a few years ago I was in Manila. My brother said Earth, Wind, and Fire is playing, and we're going to go. It's my birthday, and I looked at my then coffee wife and said, "Can I go?" And she says, "Yes, get your LASIK done." That's all you talk about is because I wore bifocals at the time, and it's nothing about any medicine and eyeglasses is cheap except the $9 reading glasses at the store. And so, all right, made the appointment at the American Eye Clinic, I think, at the time. And I forget which mall it was in, but it was that kind of, where it's so advanced. Not only is it outpatient, number one. Number two, you can get it done at a mall in the middle of the afternoon. And so I went, and the doctor asked me, he says, we can make it so that you see long distance from this eye, and you can see short distance from this eye. Well, what is that called?
Monovision.
Monovision. I keep wanting to call it Matrix or something like that. Anyways, they gave me, they simulated it with, not contacts, but with the little eyeglassy replicators that you got in there. And I didn't like the way it felt. He says, no, you'll get used to this eventually. I said, no, that's all right. Tell you what, let's just make it so I'm 20/20 to the horizon. And for reading, then I'll just buy reading glasses, which are ubiquitous. You can buy them anywhere at virtually every kind of strength. And so that's the way it has been for all of these years. And every once in a while, I'll ponder the idea of maybe going back and getting the monovision, or has technology advanced so that I can have that done so that my eyes are closer to normal eyes. What do you think, guys?
You can go back and get LASIK to be monovision. Some people are comfortable with that. I don't particularly like it. I've tried monovision with one contact in one eye for distance and the other one for near.
Yeah.
And my depth perception
Always felt like I was
going to
be falling down a lot.
Yeah,
but I know guys that rave about it.
Yeah, depth perception is a little bit off when you do that. But some people like it, and they don't want to wear glasses at all, and it's a good option for them.
But the other thing is that you're getting to the age where you may end up having cataracts at some point,
Mhm.
and you'll need to get them taken out. And they have intraocular lenses now that accommodate so that it'd be like your own lens, where if you're reading...
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
You're making this up.
No, so that when you're reading, you can see up close,
Uh-huh.
and then when you're not reading, you know, to relax, and you can see far distance. So they have those lenses now.
Intraocular.
Intraocular lenses.
Is it the same invasive as LASIK, where we slice off the tip?
You take out the old lens, which is the cataract, okay, and you put in a plastic lens.
I see.
And the plastic lens has been around for a while now.
Okay.
But the innovation is that some of these newer plastic lenses now can be simulate your own lens and can, you know, get bigger and smaller to accommodate so that you can see nearer and further.
How complicated a procedure would that be?
It's not that much more complicated than a regular cataract surgery.
I'll be darned.
Yeah,
There's something to ask for while you're in there, Doc.
It's an extra charge in most places.
So I'd pay it.
Yeah.
I'd pay it. I mean, if anything, it'd just free me from the burden of having glasses. You live with them long enough, and you realize the frailties of even the new technologies that they're using to make the glassy part out of it. Is the scratch too easy, and they're all different. I've never found one manufacturer of reading glasses that was similar to the other, and they all feel different when you put them on. You kind of got to get used to it. At any rate, there was one more thing that I wanted to ask about. It has to do with the fact that we live 13 degrees off the equator. And to what degree should we use sunglasses when we're out of doors, and certainly sunglasses that will provide, just like, you know, suntan lotion, some kind of UV protection for your eyes?
It's important to wear sunglasses, especially here. We believe that the UV exposure can cause cataracts to progress a little bit faster than normal. And also we have a higher incidence of pterygium on the eyes, which is the little scar tissue you might notice on some people's eyes that goes onto the... Actually, it's a clear part of the eye, but when we look at it, it looks like the dark part.
Like some flesh that's growing over.
Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very common in
from being around too much bright light, too much UV that's coming through. The lesson here, and I think it might have been somebody like Dr. Jack that taught me this years ago, is make sure that when you buy sunglasses, number one, get the ones that favor your face as much as you think, make you look like a rock star, but the other one is make sure that it's got UV protection on the inside, and that will help you stave off some of these things that we're talking about in different issues that will come into your eyes. To what degree does cancer affect people's visions and you know, eye problems? Do we have that here? Is there an eye cancer?
Yes, there are.
Huh.
They're not that common. I don't know how many you see, but
Haven't seen any since I've been on Guam.
Well, that's encouraging.
So it's not very common. Yeah.
You know how much you sound like Morgan Freeman?
You know, a lot of people say I look like him, too.
There's a resemblance that every once in a while I'm closing my eyes. You know, I'm looking right at him. I'm closing my eyes going, that's Morgan Freeman talking
Yes,
here.
God. Is that you, God?
Well, you know what? When you're with a doctor and he restores your vision, that's God and God-like. Where we are, you know, imagine that 50 years ago, 100 years ago, I mean, after the war and things like that, you know, you had an eye problem and it stayed with you. It wore a patch for the rest of your life. And there are so many things now that are repairable. There are so many things that we can recover your vision or restore parts of your vision, use lasers and therapy and all kinds of new things that they're coming out with. And the idea that we got a little piece of plastic that we can stick in your eyeball after you're done with your cataract surgery that'll make it so that for all intents and purposes, you've got your old eyes back. Love that. Love that idea. 9:52 and change. I'm really, really glad that you came out to visit Guam, and I'm really, really glad that Dr. Jack brought you by the radio station so we could meet. And I hope you don't mind the podcast length interview that we conducted.
A lot of fun.
I hope so.
Thank you very much.
No,
it's
the only thing. I have a pen here. Let me put my glasses on so I can find it.
If you don't mind, I just like that. It's a real honor to have Dr. M. Roy Wilson visit. He's my mentor and responsible for me being here. So we really appreciate the fact that he took the time to travel all this way. And we got him out because of the bike race. So, I'm glad he's a cyclist. And
They're going to do a
we all try
bike
to
race
stay
again next year, Doc. You can bring him back
We're gonna
if
try.
the hills don't kill him.
Oh, we try to lay out the red carpet this time to entice him to come back again. So I hope it works.
I'm just saying, there's a certain part of the southern ridges you get through, and this will keep you going. There's a place called Jeff's Pirates Cove, and I don't know if it is a pit stop, but it should be a pit stop. I would go for the burger, the wings, a couple of cold beers to get yourself back on the road and enjoy the rest of the
I
time.
think when I take him on a driving tour today, we'll stop with Jeff.
Jeff, be expecting, man. Keep a place open for him. 9:53 in the morning. Maybe he'll autograph a book for you as well. Real Joe's going to play some spots. We'll come back I'll come back on the other side and kill the next couple of minutes of the program. And thanks again, Dr. Wilson, for swinging by the radio station. Best of luck in the race.
Thank you.
Best of luck in the race.
I'll need it.
He's already found that he's going to win his division. All you have to do is finish.
All I got to do is finish, and I'll win my division.
Yes.
Yep.
If need be, and this has happened to me before, I've been with people that have raced it, and I've kind of been a safety driver in and around the area. There's at least one case. Was it my sister, Joe? Yeah, it was my sister. She calls me up from the Inarahan pools and says, "I'm done with this. Can you come and pick me up?" And sure enough, I did. And then spent the rest of the day waiting for everybody else over at Pirates Cove. Just a few minutes away from 10. I'll be right back.
Since 1997, Island Eye Institute has been committed to your family's eye care needs. From its beginnings, Island Eye Institute has recognized the value in incorporating state-of-the-art technology into personalized care and the commitment to excellence. As Guam's complete eye center, our specialists offer their expertise in glaucoma, retina, cornea, LASIK, cataract, and diabetic eye disease. Island Eye accepts Select Care, Net Care, Take Care, and Stay Well. Call us at 637-2020 to schedule your appointment today. We're located on the second floor of the Baltesh Pavilion in Tamuning.
Christmas trees are going up at the Security Title Office in Tamuning, and with them comes the music and joy of the season. As we reflect on the ups and downs of 2023, one thing remains constant, and that is the deep gratitude we have for our customers and the meaningful work we do for our real estate community. Thank you for trusting us with your property. From our Security Title family to yours, we wish you a Christmas season filled with peace and joy.
Lime Away is the expert hard water cleaner that provides solutions to your lime, calcium, and rust stains. It's scientifically proven to eliminate lime scale deposits, leaving your home clean from hard water stains, bathtub, bathroom tiles, shower doors, sinks, and toilet bowl stains. Lime Away can eliminate them all. Get your bottle of Lime Away at your nearest mom and pop store and never be embarrassed by those ugly stains again. Lime Away, distributed by Cosmos Distributing.
Your pup deserves to have healthy skin and a smooth, soft coat, so book your appointment today at the Bougie Booney Dog Salon in Upper Tumon. Yes, that's Bougie, B-O-U-J-I-E. Grooming services for all breeds and sizes include a bath with high-quality shampoo and conditioner, haircuts, de-shedding, and complimentary nail trims. The cutest part is the Christmas photo shoot. You gotta see for yourself. Check them out at the Bougie Booney on Instagram. Book your appointment online at thebougiebooney.booksy.com. WhatsApp 797-4163 or reach out on FB and IG.
9:56, day before the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. What do you want to talk about your interesting days here? Response to Cousin Troy, tell me what your favorite thing or what your best memory of a great memory. Crystal wanted to know if she could call in. But that was like just after 9.
Yeah, she called and I told her that.
I was in the midst.
Yeah, and we would hit her up after, but we're running out of time, so I'll try and hook up with her.
Yeah,
early
maybe tomorrow, early tomorrow before she
Thanks,
gets all dressed
Crystal.
up for the thing. So, but bottom line,
she wanted to talk about what
medians?
they plan to do on the medians and how to make the roads better and to give you a
okay,
a better view.
Well, call her back and maybe in studio.
Okay,
because
I
think we're open all the way for tomorrow, right? All right, at 9:57 and change. Obviously, not a whole lot of time to get anything else spun up, but I will ask Real Joe because Real Joe is the arbiter of all things good and all things that suck.
What?
Just put it on hold. So, according to surveys, which one sucks more, beer guts or mullets?
I like mullets.
So you say beer guts are the worst of the two?
Yeah, because I had a mullet, man. Those are my people.
Well, wait a second. I'm kind of working on mine now.
Business in the front, Ray.
Kind of working on mine now. I haven't decided. I got nothing up here, but I got plenty rolling in the back. And I'm eventually going to get it to a point where I can comb it over from the back to the front.
You're going to make your hair great again.
Joe, if I do, put me out of my misery.
I know. Okay.
Which is worse, your significant other dumps you or the boss fires you?
Both.
They're both kind of suck.
They're
But
both
according to the research, one of them sucks worse. You want to guess?
Getting fired by your boss.
No, only 48% of people feel that was the worst of it. When your significant other dumps you, because usually when the boss fires you, he's got to tell you why. When the significant other dumps you, they're just like, yeah,
she's gone.
It's not me, it's you. And just you got to live with all of that. Which is worse, eating 52 hard-boiled eggs or eating 52 hot dogs?
Oh God, the eggs.
By a huge margin. 66% of the people surveyed said they would rather eat 52 hot dogs than eat 52 boiled eggs. And we'll do this one for the B-man, Dennis Larson. Which is worse, bee stings or splinters?
Oh, yeah. Bee stings.
Definitely.
For sure.
I've talked about this once or twice. I'm 61 years old. I'll be 62 in May. And I have not been stung by a bee since maybe I was 10. It was 10 because I already had the mini bike. I already had a mini bike, and I got that from my mom.
You got smart, man.
I got it. Yeah. Well, I prayed to Mary on the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, saying nobody's going to buy me a mini bike, and through the miracle of Catholicism, I got one. But anyway, so I was older than 10 years old, and I got stung by a bee in the back of Grandma's house, and it was that long ago. And I think if I got stung by a bee in 2023, it would probably put me in shock. It'd give me a heart attack. 10 o'clock in the morning, radio station KUSG. You got your Fox News Live on 3P. Peak is best. This is The Point.
Have died. I'm Lee Silasera. That's what police in Las Vegas are saying after a person opened fire this afternoon on the campus of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And they say one person is hospitalized in critical condition.
Within about 30 minutes of the first reports, police said they had found the suspect and that the suspect was dead. We don't know if that was a result of a shootout with police or whether the suspect